Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. We've got a busy slate, so skip Shannon. Let's get to it.
Good morning. Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from LA. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharpe. Hi, guys.
Hey, Jenny, how you doing?
Hi, Jenny. How are you?
Yeah,
Great.
Yes, sir.
good last night.
That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Eagles.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
We are in first place, and we love it. Thank you. We appreciate that.
Skip, you're a substitute. You're in first place temporarily.
Yeah.
You're not the long-term teacher.
Dallas Cowboys are one game clear of both the Eagles and the Redskins. The Eagles have to visit the Cowboys on Sunday. We got this.
No, you don't got this.
We got this.
Okay.
I want to see that same energy.
Okay, on Monday.
Yeah.
You make sure you come in here with that energy.
Yeah. We got this.
Are you scared of those Eagles?
yeah.
Or
Am
not
I
so much?
scared? I loved the Eagles last night. I needed the
You
Eagles.
remember last week
Thank
you got
you.
down off the camera.
Yeah.
You told me Shannon Sharpe had that say, walk to the camera and you
Yep,
just,
I did it. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see
Okay.
how this goes.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, clearly we will talk about Cowboys-Eagles coming up. We're also going to talk about Shannon's guy, Aaron Rodgers. Is he ever going to get along with his coach? We also have big news coming from Ohio State. But hey, let's start in Philly. For the first time this season, the Eagles have won back-to-back games. They stayed in the playoff hunt by beating Mark Sanchez and the Redskins 28-13 at home. Carson Wentz threw for over 300 yards, had 2 TD passes. The Eagles are now 6-6, one game behind the Cowboys, and they head to Dallas on Sunday. Let's take a listen to talking to him after the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's big for us, especially where we were, now winning 2 straight and trying to kind of get some momentum going. Doing it against an NFC East opponent was huge, and now kind of setting ourselves up to make a run, to try and do something special here. And I think we're leaving some plays out there, but we're finally starting to click a little bit and mesh together. And we're extremely excited for next week's opportunity for sure.
All right, Shannon, how impressive was Philly?
Skip, for me, it was not particularly impressive. You won the game, and you always accept the win. But and you heard him say it, we left some plays out there. Skip, I thought at times last night, Carson Wentz's footwork was awful. He grounded one. He had Aguilar up the rail for another one. He had Zach Ertz up the rail early in the game for a big gain, and his footwork wasn't very good. And then that pick to Josh that he threw, he was trying to throw to Alshon and Josh Norman. I'm like, Wentz, what, did you not see him undercut the
Wait, now he's Wentz?
Yeah.
He went all the way down to just Wentz?
Yeah.
Last name?
I tweeted it too.
Really?
Yeah, I say Wentz, your footwork is terrible.
Really?
Yeah, it was terrible.
Wow.
Yeah.
What happened? It sounds like at least one foot's completely off.
No.
Huh?
But the question was how impressive, and I didn't think they were very impressive other than they got the win. They did what they needed to do to win the ball game. Defensively, Skip, I didn't like the adjustment. Okay, Mark Sanchez comes into the game. Mark Sanchez is terrible. He's been terrible for a very long time. I can't remember. He's been terrible far longer than he's ever was good, and I can't remember the last time he was good.
Yep.
But that's neither here nor there. And for some reason, Jim Schwartz still line up in a wide 9. And on a wide 9 defense, which means the defensive ends are wide, hence Cowboy front, and they come streaming up the field. Where they hand the ball to Adrian Peterson, he starts to his right, cuts back, and he hits his head on the goalpost from 90. Why? You know good and well they're not going to let Mark Sanchez throw the ball, Skip. The first play, he's in the ball game, and you're going to run a blitz. Really? Come on, Jim Schwartz. You got to be smarter than that. But to give them credit, they held the Washington to 36 yards in the second half.
Yep.
Now, this is what we know. You let Zeke Elliott get off a run like 90, he's going to go for 300.
Yep.
Because the Cowboys are going to pound you with the run. They did a very good job for the first time this year. Guess what? Walk it to him, didn't get sacked. That's a positive.
Okay.
So there were some positive things, but overall, when you look at the injuries as they started to mount, and this goes back for Washington, Skip, they lose Alex Smith, they lose Colt McCoy very early in the game, and I knew when they replayed it, Skip, and you saw that leg whip, you know he was done. You knew that, I knew that. And then they get to Mark Sanchez. Lord have mercy. Skip, how can somebody honestly say Mark Sanchez deserved to still play, but you and I both know a guy that doesn't have a job?
Good question. Yeah.
Give them credit. They found a way to win the ball game, even though, as Wentz, walk it to him, said in that interview, Skip, we left some throws out there. And they did. he should have had only at tops 5 incompletions. But old Zach Ertz would, he be wheeling on his skip. I don't know why they can't find an answer on old Zach. How he be getting open like that? Reminds me of old young myself used to get open like that.
Really?
Now, I ain't get that many opportunities. Skip, they wouldn't throw me the ball, though, 10 to 12 times every game. But I love the fact that they got Golden Tate involved. Skip, Golden Tate, of all the players that represent the Eagles, or not the Eagles, but the Philly fan base, is him. Because he's a blue-collar, boots, lunch pail, hard hat type of guy.
He is.
Just give him the ball, put the ball in his hands, and let him do work. He's going to make a guy miss. He's going to run over a few guys. He's going to run through two tacklers. I love the way he plays the game. And he's getting on the same wavelength with walking to him. So you can't be too impressed day one. At the end of the day, the most important thing in any sporting event is to win. But you can't be impressed because that's a shell of a team. Washington might not win another game, which I told you. Even with Colt.
You predicted the broken leg of Colt McCoy. No.
Even if they had Colt McCoy. When you stop making it seem like Colt McCoy, Andrew Luck, Drew Brees, he's Colt McCoy.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, it's your turn.
Really?
But I want you to stop pretending.
What'd you think?
So, Jenny, my man across the table just made a strong case for Dallas winning the NFC East because he was not impressed with what Philly did to what's left of Washington, right? That's what I just heard from the Hall of Famer. I think it was a concession speech.
And the same team that you played on Thanksgiving. That's the same beat-up team that you beat by 7.
Except it had Colt McCoy, who was doing damage on Thanksgiving,
Really?
just the way he was doing early last night. Would you believe that Colt McCoy, I don't know, my TV must be broken. I don't know. I must have a different cable service than you get. You're up there in Bel Air somewhere, so you're way up above me. You're in the high rent. I'm in the medium rent.
Got a TV station in my backyard.
I'm down where I got black and white TV.
Do what you can.
Yeah, I just
make it work.
Yeah, you got rabbit ears, analog TV.
I got analog TV. But on my TV, I saw Colt McCoy complete 4 of his first 4 passes. He was 4 for 4, and he had hit Josh Doxson on a big 32-yarder that set them up for a field goal. And I was saying, here he comes. That's the Colt McCoy I know. I don't love him, but I like a lot about Colt McCoy because he will play his tail off against anybody on the biggest stage, especially on Monday night. You know what he did to my Cowboys back in 2014 on a Monday night? He just threw a little party right on their heads at Jerry World. Remember that?
Yeah.
Texas' own Colt McCoy. And I thought he played pretty well on Thanksgiving. And I believe that if Colt McCoy had stayed healthy last night, I believe the Eagles would be eliminated from this playoff race right now because I think Colt McCoy would have won that game. The way the Eagles played the rest of the game against Mark Sanchez, and now the Eagles caught a huge break because they get Mark Sanchez twice because they get him in the season finale at Washington. So those are huge breaks for your, quote-unquote, Philadelphia Eagles.
You got a break.
And not only did Mark Sanchez have to play for 3 quarters last night, but the Redskins were down to their 3rd-string offensive guard and their 4th-string offensive guard on the other side. And Mark Sanchez was protected by those guys. And I got to tell you, that Eagles front 7, which I thought was just hellacious great coming into the year, I thought they'd really beefed up and improved with Michael Bennett. And did they really get after Mark Sanchez? Not really. Not really. I didn't see a whole lot of pressure exerted on him.
Well, one of their better edge rushers, Barnett, is gone for the season. He was lost very early in the season.
He was. So, what did I see overall? I saw an Eagles team that isn't playing at nearly as high a level on offense or defense as my Dallas Cowboys are. My Dallas Cowboys have taken off. My Dallas Cowboys get basically 10 days, like a mini bye week, 11 if you want to make it the whole Monday. The whole Sunday, but to get ready for the Eagles visit, right?
Skip, I'm confused. You keep telling me your offense is playing really well. They scored 13 points. How well is that?
But they did it against
They're averaging
really
20
good
points.
defense.
They're like 24th in scoring.
I think New Orleans defense is playing at a much higher level than Philly's. And don't get me started on Philly's back end because I can barely name any of their players in the second.
Well, how many points did you score on Thanksgiving against Washington?
Enough.
Okay, then. So don't pretend like you got the Rams or Kansas City's offense.
I think we scored just enough, but boy, we got what might just be the best defense in pro football flying around right now.
Ravens says, excuse me? The Ravens said, excuse me?
Yep. I don't know about that. I just think my
Who's leading the league in
coming-of-age defense?
Points allowed, yards allowed. Who's that, Skip?
That would be the Ravens.
Okay.
But my defense is coming for the Ravens also. I think by the end of the year, my defense is going to be number one. And, while Carson Wentz shoots little birds, my guy Van Der Esch, he hunts wolves. So we got a wolf hunter versus a quail shooter. Who do you like? I think I'll take the wolf hunter.
No.
Right?
Van Der Esch, he's not the best middle backer. Bobby Wagner and Luke Kuechly says, hold on, Skip Bayless.
See. It's happening right before
What's
our
happening?
eyes, that they're coming of age.
Yeah, they are.
So, what did I see from your guy bounce it to him Wentz last night?
Walk
it to him. Or is it limp it to him? Is he healthy yet? Or I'm not sure.
It stopped.
Excuse me. So, what I saw was, I saw some throws that just raise your eyebrows, and I saw some other throws that just make you scratch your head. Am I right about walk it to him?
Yeah.
Like every once in a while, he'll throw a rifle shot that I'll say, that is big time. Hit somebody right in the chest, maybe like concave their chest.
Yes.
And then the next throw is wild high, and the next throw is wild low, and then the next throw with Josh Norman lurking, just sniffing it out. He undercuts Alshon and just picks it off.
Yes.
And this is first and goal. First and goal from the 5, and you do that?
Yeah, because he has to understand. Josh Norman's going to jump everything because the safety's behind him. So who cares if he runs a sluggo? The safety's there to take it away.
So what do I see from Carson Wentz? I see lock on to receivers constantly. I don't see a lot of look off. I don't see a lot of feel for deception. Like, he locks on to who he wants. And mostly he locks on to that big tight end of his.
Yeah.
And he is really good, and they are really close. And Zach Ertz was in his wedding, and I get that. And they hang out, and they're of like mind. They go hunting. They're the same guy, and they have a great bond and great chemistry. But he just locks on to 86. It's like, where's 86? I'm going to throw it to him because somehow he's going to catch it. And I kept saying in the Cowboy game, what are we going 3 weeks ago? It's almost 4 weeks now, back in Philadelphia. Zach Ertz had a career night that night. He had 16 targets, got 14 for 145 and 2 touchdowns. And I just kept screaming at the TV, just triple him. Seriously, just triple cover him.
Catch 14 more
because
Sunday.
You want to talk about the ultimate security blanket? It's Zach Ertz. He was mic'd up. You don't hear the sound, but he's running one little quick slant, and he's yelling, Cars. That's what he calls him, Cars. He's just yelling, like, throw it to me. I'm open.
He does know Carson can't hear him in a game like that.
Well, I don't know. That's a good question, but maybe at Philly, I don't know. Maybe you could hear him at Philly, but you won't be able to hear him at Jerry World.
No, hold on. First of all, you could hear him if you're at practice because there's no crowd noise. But I can assure you, in the game, Carson Wentz could not hear him yelling through him the ball.
I think he was just so excited because Washington couldn't cover him. So the point
Dallas
is,
couldn't either. You just mentioned he had 14 balls.
So last night he had 10 more targets. So for the year, this man has 121 targets. That ranks 6th in the National Football League behind 5 diva receivers. So he's like a diva wide receiver, getting targets. Like AB is at the top, and anyway, they're all wideouts. I could go down the whole list, but they're all
Thielen and Julio,
Thielen and
Michael
Julio,
Thomas.
and Devontae and Odell. Those who they are. So the point is, Then it comes Zach Ertz. So he's the ultimate security blanket for Carson Wentz. And Carson either locks onto Ertz or he locks onto Alshon. And that's pretty much it.
Are you upset?
That's the offense.
Are you upset that Zach Ertz is about to have the tight end receiving record for a season?
No.
About to race a Cowboy?
Over Jason Witten? As if I care?
Yeah, you care.
Because
you love all things Cowboys.
But I don't care. Jason Witten's in the Monday night booth. He's out of
Cowboy.
sight. He's out of mind. He is long gone.
Hold on. You told me once a Cowboy, always a Cowboy.
Well, that's fine. I still honor him. I still cherish what he did. But those last 4 years, man, I don't know. There was no run after catch.
Okay,
right?
what about, so you love Blake Jarwin? You love that?
Yeah.
What about your boy Rico? Yeah. You told me Rico was going to be big.
Rico was on the field the other night. He's pushing some guys around. I like that.
Oh, he pushed the guy down after the whistle.
He did. He pushed the guy down after
What
the
about catching the ball? Because that's really not what a tight end is on the field to catch the ball.
He is the secret weapon, and you just might eat those words at some point down the stretch.
He
might
come
up huge in the red zone at 6 feet 6 inches.
You're holding out hope against hope.
I am.
That he's going to catch a touchdown so you can come in here one day, and I told you.
I still got Blake Jarwin. I do.
You just told me early in the year Blake Jarwin is terrible. And Jeff Swain was like, who is he? Who are these guys? No, this is what he said, Jenny. Can I interest you in Blake Jarwin?
Please.
Can I interest you in Jeff Swam? What about Rico Gather? You like him? That's what you told me.
I did.
Now all of a sudden we got Blake Jarwin.
We don't need a tight end because we got Amari Cooper, and that's all we really need.
That is true.
And we have an emerging Michael Gallup, third-round pick out of Colorado State.
You hear that, Cole Beasley?
Yeah.
He hadn't mentioned you because at first you were like Cole Beasley. You love Beasley. Now you go 4-5 players deep before you get to Cole Beasley.
Well, but do I even need to mention to you that if Adrian Peterson at 65 years of age hit his head on the goalpost, what do you think Zeke's going to do against the Eagles?
They'll tighten it up.
Zeke had a field day the first time at Philly. You think they're going to tighten it up? I don't think so.
I'm trying to figure out how you have one carry for 90 yards and you don't get at least 100.
That's it.
That was the first time I think they said a stat. It was like since 94, Skip. Herschel Walker had a 91-yard touchdown and finished under 100 yards, but he only had 3. He had 3 for 98. You got to let the man get 100 yards, Skip.
Okay. So let's go back to Walker Toombs' first touchdown pass that made it 7-0.
Yeah.
And he kind of ducks under the rush,
Yeah.
throws it off his wrong foot, and he's locked on to Golden Tate
Yes.
over in the corner of the end zone.
Yep.
And that kid Stroman for Washington, who's their 7th-round pick out of Virginia Tech. Stroman got to pick this because you just have to see it coming, because you want to talk about locking onto a receiver. This is a very dangerous pass, and Stroman at least got his fingertips on it. And again, those balls are going to get intercepted. It was very close to his second red zone, although the play came before in the first quarter. The interception came in the third, but that could have been his second red zone interception.
That's the first time he's thrown one, like 120-something attempts.
Really?
So it was bound to happen, Skip. I mean, you think the man's going to go his whole career without throwing a red zone interception?
Boy, I don't know. I didn't see a team that I'm real
Zach,
afraid
hold
of.
on. You never said a word when Dak Prescott threw a red zone interception to Amari Cooper. That was double covered.
It was the worst night of my life. I've never seen.
Okay, then.
I threw my Dak jersey in the trash.
I know you did.
I did,
I
and
love
then
it.
I retrieved it.
Don't worry about it.
But the
We're
point
gonna put
is
it back in there on
that was coming off 2 weeks. That was a bye week game on a Monday night against Tennessee, and it was the all-time stinker. And then what happened? Phoenix rose, right? It's from the ashes, rose the
We'll
Phoenix.
get you to throw it back in there. Probably around 6:15, 6:30.
Yeah.
It'll be back in the trash.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. Old Walker to him got to go and do a number.
Because there's no way this team can humiliate my guys like Tennessee did.
No. We don't need to humiliate them, Skip.
Yeah.
See, you get all caught up in humiliate.
We took off.
Win. We don't want you humiliated, because we don't want you to go totally in the tank. We want you to win a few more games and get right there to the edge, because that's what gets you. That's what's going to put you in the tank. That's what's going to put the Cowboy fans in the tank. See, if you just start losing from here out, there's no anticipation. I need the anticipation to build. I need there to be a climax. I need there to be a zenith, an apex that you get to, the crescendo.
Yep.
Which ooh, boy, the Cowboy gonna go to the play. And then the last game of the season. Bam!
Bam. So.
Cruel.
Cruel?
Cruel of
know,
him.
like-
He wants you to
Well,
get so close.
You know, you are whistling through your own graveyard. You realize that? Yes, you are. Because my team has won 4 in a row, and my team has taken off, and my team needed Philly to win last night for 2 reasons: to keep Philly relevant so that they don't.
We
take
don't
them
need to
too
be
lightly.
relevant. We got to walk it to them.
Yeah, okay. So now Philly comes in with credibility. And this is it. This is the big showdown
Yes.
now. And I needed Philly to have some credibility.
Yeah.
So my guys, remember, they played their quote-unquote Super Bowl against New Orleans. But
Yeah.
I needed Philly to win to knock Washington down to 6-6 and get Dallas's attention again, just to make sure that this is for the marbles.
Well, you know, back in the olden, back about 10 years ago, what would happen, Skip, you play the Super Bowl and then you go to the Pro Bowl. So since Dallas played their Super Bowl a couple of weeks ago, it's Pro Bowl time now.
Really?
So, yeah.
Take a day off?
Yeah, so the Eagles going in there and get this win, hang 30 on them.
Really? Oh, interesting. 30 on the best defense in pro football. I will take another case of due on that.
Skip, that game is we got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
We do.
There's no reason to put the cart in front of the horse.
And by the way, I want to remind our viewing audience that Shannon Sharpe bet 3 cases on Philly to win the NFC East. that go on top of the 3 cases he bet against Dallas winning the NFC East. And I would say I'm in that, whatever that thing it means, I'm in the catbird seat.
You're not in the catbird seat.
Do I look like a catbird to you?
You think you're in the catbird seat, but I got you right where I want you.
Really? I think I got you right where I want you
Gotcha.
because now Philly has Dallas's attention once
We always
again.
had their attention.
And
Because-
I
hold
just
on.
can't wait for this.
Who the reigning Super Bowl champs? Who got the jersey? Who got all the gear?
So would you believe that last night I watched the reigning defending Super Bowl champions allow Mark Sanchez on his first play in about 2 football seasons to hand off to Adrian Peterson, what's left of Adrian Peterson on his first play, and Adrian went 90 yards right through the teeth of that defense.
Hold on.
That was it. That's the
Jenny could have done what Mark Sanchez did.
Jenny can do more than a whole lot of people can.
I think I could too.
Yeah, you could, Jenny.
I'm confident.
You could. And you gonna sit right there and say, oh, they allowed Mark Sanchez. He handed the ball off.
I'm just saying that it has come to that for the Philadelphia Eagles. That happened last night.
No, it's come to that for the Washington team.
Wow.
And it serves them correct. Yeah.
So Philly had the ball 39 minutes to 21 last night, and look at the final score. That's all you can get.
Hold on. You guys
Really?
had the ball 37 minutes and had 13 points. Is that all you got?
That's how.
At
That was
home.
the blueprint to beat the hottest offense in pro football and the quarterback who was on pace to have the greatest single season in NFL history.
He's not on the pace no more.
No, we took him right off that pace.
Yeah, I
We
know.
took
No.
him right out of
And
what he
guess who's
did.
on pace to get something now?
So here's my bottom line to this.
Okay.
Philly is about, I hate to be the bearer of bad tidings for you, but Philly is about to lose at Dallas and then at the Rams. They have to go to the Rams next. And then the Texans visit Philly. They're going to lose 3 straight games. And that's what you're going to be left
Put some
with.
dew on it?
No, I've got all kinds of dew on it. I don't need any more.
I want some more.
Yeah.
On the
no,
3?
No.
Yeah.
Are we going to put an extra case on Sunday at Jerry World? I think you said that yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now we're up to 7
official?
cases. Yeah. Big showdown. Cowboys, are you watching? Are you listening?
Hold on. There's no
Here
sense.
come the Eagles, and they think they can beat you.
There's no sense. Look, we got 3 days. We're gonna talk about dew, and so we'll move forward. There's no sense in the rush into this, but you're gonna get what you deserve because you keep asking for it.
I asked and I received. It's over. I mean, I got it. I'm good.
I remember when I was a little boy and I wouldn't sit down, I wouldn't behave, and my grandma said, "You know what? You're gonna mess around and get exactly what you're looking for. You keep poking, you're gonna get exactly what you're looking for on Sunday." And the same thing that my grandma eventually would give me.
Yep.
That butt cutting. You're gonna get that.
My team has cut your butt 4 straight times.
No, you didn't. No,
Right?
we know that happened.
That's what happened.
No, they
4
didn't.
straight times.
Who did?
My team.
No, they didn't.
Yep.
No. Skip, we
You
beat
been watching?
We beat you guys last year on Sunday night. Remember we came to Dallas and blew the doors off you?
What was left of us?
What you mean what was loud?
Zeke wasn't there.
Oh! But you told me it's a Dak team. So Dak was there. That's all you need. That was
I'll take Dak over Wentz any Sunday, any Monday,
Give me
any
the-
Thursday.
Walk it.
Yep.
We have all week to continue
Yeah.
talking about this one, guys.
I'm ready to play tomorrow.
Ready to go.
Tomorrow, let's play.
How about this
Yeah, I
for
bet you are.
news? Aaron Rodgers says he was shocked by Mike McCarthy's
Yeah,
firing, but do we
Yeah.
actually believe him? We'll discuss next. He was shocked.
No mercy.
The Packers fired Mike McCarthy Sunday after losing to the lowly Cardinals at Lambeau. The Packers are a disappointing 4-7-1 and basically out of the playoff hunt. Aaron Rodgers said yesterday that he was, quote, shocked by the news, and he addressed the rumors of tension with McCarthy. Take a listen.
I think him and I, like any relationship, we have our amazing times. We have our times where we butt heads, but the basis, like I said, was built on mutual respect and communication. And we spent a lot of time here talking off the field at my house or his house, spending time together and growing in our friendship. And we accomplished a lot together. And I enjoy being coached. I think any player does. You love the conversations, the feedback, and I think any great player holds himself to a really high standard. So first you have to be very critical of your own performance. But it's always nice having a voice in there who's going to hold you accountable. And I think any player, especially an older player, they want that. You want that feedback and somebody holding you accountable and somebody coaching you up.
Okay, Shannon, what did you make of those comments?
I think Aaron Rodgers said all the right things. I think the only thing that is shocking about this in Aaron's mind is that it didn't happen a couple of years earlier. It's hard for me to believe, Skip. Aaron Rodgers could have prevented this. could have played better, and Mike McCarthy would have still had his job. But I don't think Aaron is nearly as surprised as he's letting on. And I understand that the coach and the head coach and the quarterback, they do have a different, sometimes a very intimate personal relationship, Skip, because you bounce, and especially when the head coach is the offensive coordinator. He's the play caller, because you want feedback. You want to know, okay, what do you like in this situation? What plays, how would you like to start the game? How would you like to close the game? So you're getting through all those situations, you're running through all those scenarios that could possibly play out in the game on Sunday or Monday. So I get there with Aaron, and he's saying that he and Mike McCarthy, they had a relationship, and sometimes it blossoms and it stays that way. But Skip, when you spend that kind of time together, it's hard to believe that you're not going to have some disagreements. And sometimes you have disagreements, and it comes to a point where it's time to part ways. It's time to the team to have a different voice, to hear a different voice. And I think that's what it came painfully obvious to me, that Mike McCarthy needed to go a different way, and the Packers needed to go a different way. I still think Mike's a good coach. I don't think he's great. I think he had an all-time great player, but the job wasn't getting done. So for me, and people like, well, the way the Packers handled this situation, Mike McCarthy deserved better. Winning a Super Bowl does not give you a lifetime pass to be a head coach in the league. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you've done. Players don't get lifetime passes. When they win Super Bowls, they win Defensive Player of the Year, or they win certain awards.
Or they win a Super Bowl 8 years ago, and you get a lifetime pass? Is that what we're talking about?
Whoa. There was the guy that won, and he went like a decade. Did he get a lifetime pass?
How many has he won since then?
That is nothing to see that. First of all, why are you interrupting, Skip? That is so rude.
Because you were just getting deeper and deeper in here. I finally had to say, that's enough.
Jenny, is it my turn?
No.
Is it my turn?
It is
my turn.
Okay. Reclaim time for more of the phony baloney that is emanating from over there.
No, Skip. You asked, the question was I shocked? And I said Aaron said the right things, but it's hard for me to believe that he's shocked given how bad they played this year offensively and losing to the Cardinals, a warm weather dome team in the ideal elements if you're a Packer. Cold, damp, a dreary afternoon. And that's the whole thing, Skip. That's the whole reason why these cold weather teams, you try for home field in the playoffs. You want to get a team to come to you in your element. Well, you got the Arizona Cardinals, who's terrible, to come to you in your elements, and they beat you.
How did Aaron Rodgers get to his one and only Super Bowl? Well, how did he? Seriously.
He went to Philly, it was cold, and he Soldier Field that it was cold.
And he went to Atlanta, and it was inside.
Yeah.
Right? So he went on the road all 3 times. So he did not need the frozen tundra. He wasn't able to secure the home field advantage that you're talking about, and he really never has, because he's 5-6 in the postseason since that Super Bowl, and he's lost twice at home.
And in his last 3 road playoff games, what's Tom Brady's record? Last 3.
Let's see. Can we go back to the last 4 Super Bowls? What's his record?
He lost.
Well, he won 2.
Oh, he's 2-2. Is that good? You like to be 2-2? You like to be 500? You're not even 500 when it comes to these debates. You batting over.
No, I'm batting.
No, you batting over.
Tell me when it's my turn.
It's your turn.
Thank you. I have never heard so much phony baloney as your man Aaron Rodgers spewed yesterday. He was laying it on thicker than Wisconsin cheese, because that was nothing but damage control from Aaron Rodgers, because he realized on Sunday night that all of a sudden, I'm being blamed for getting my coach fired, and all the pressure is going to be on me, and the spotlight's going to get brighter and brighter, because now it looks like I'm going to get my way. Well, he did. He won the battle. He even won it prematurely. He won it with, how many games do we have left? 4 games left. He got Mike McCarthy fired with 4 games to go.
Mike McCarthy got Mike McCarthy fired.
Aaron Rodgers did, because his body language was so awful on Sunday versus those Arizona Cardinals that it was clear to the people upstairs he was quitting on Mike McCarthy. And that's what I said yesterday on the show. And the point is that the people upstairs, starting with Mark Murphy, whose decision it is ultimately, He just said, I can't watch this anymore because my quarterback will not play for that coach anymore.
Right.
So he won. And again, the quarterback lost to a rookie named Josh Rosen who grew up in Beverly Hills on the frozen tundra in the snow. And Josh Rosen's okay, but he's not great, and he wasn't very good on Sunday, and he hasn't really been very good all year.
He only completed 11 passes for a little over 100 yards.
And you lost to him?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that was the ultimate, I'm not going to play for this coach anymore, and so the coach is gone. And I have to sit and listen to Aaron talk about their friendship. It was either his house or my house. Really?
Yeah.
Really? When was that? In 2007?
Stop it.
No, seriously.
Yeah.
Really?
It doesn't matter. He
You
went
think
over
it's
to
been
his
that
house.
way the
Yeah.
last 3 or 4 years? Because I don't.
Well, Skip, I'm trying to think of the game when it was like 4th and 1. Might have been Minnesota. And they didn't go for it on 4th down. And Aaron was just standing around on the field, and he was looking like, we going for it. And then Mike McCarthy sent the punting team out on the field. And I'm like, okay, that's not going to end well. They never got the ball back.
Okay. All right. So the point is that Aaron Rodgers has been sniping between the lines at Mike McCarthy, and Mike's taken a few little swipes back at Aaron. So they finally hit the wall, and Mark Murphy said that is enough.
Yeah.
But don't tell me about friendship. Don't tell me about, I'm sure he's going through, talking about, this is Aaron on Mike McCarthy, I'm sure he's going through the grieving process, as many of us have known him for a long time and worked with him are also. Really?
Yeah,
so Aaron's
grieving.
going through a grieving process? No, he's not. He's ecstatic.
You don't know that.
Huh? He's toasting the moon with his scotch, right?
You don't know that.
I got this.
It's painful. It hurts.
Yeah. And that leads us to the second part of this. Mark Murphy is saying, that Aaron will not interview candidate. Yes, he will. Yes, he will. Yes, he will. He has to. You don't fire Mike McCarthy and then say, Aaron, this decision is ours, and you're going to have to be happy with the new coach.
No. We're going to address that. I do believe. Do I believe he's going to give Mark Murphy a list of candidates that he would like to? No, I believe once they narrow it down, then they will come. Well, like I said, we're going to discuss this, sir, and then I think they'll bring that to him. But that's neither here nor there, Skip.
It's here. It's right here, right now.
Well, what I'm talking about right now is that I'm tired of people saying, well, Mike McCarthy has been to the playoffs. That's not good enough. When you have Aaron Rodgers getting to the playoffs is good if you have Marcus Mariota. When you have Aaron Rodgers, who is a transcendent quarterback, titles. He played in Green Bay, Wisconsin. What do they call Green Bay, Wisconsin? Title town.
They used to, a long time ago, back in 2009.
What they used to call the Cowboys. Back in '95, when you last won your Super Bowl.
Dynasty, that's what they called them.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
That went off the air. I remember Blake Carrington. Yeah, I remember John Forsythe and Joan Collins. Yeah. I remember all that.
Well, you are witnessing right now the rebirth of a dynasty in Dallas.
Whatever.
So have fun with that.
Did you know John Forsythe was the voice of Charlie on Angel?
I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
And?
I'm just saying,
apropos of what?
I'm just saying, Skip, back in my TV days, I used to watch
I'm not as old as you, but I don't go back that far.
Yeah, you do.
I don't.
You need to stop, Skip.
No.
But look, everybody knows that Aaron was unhappy with Mike McCarthy. And at the end of the day, yeah, Skip, you put on all this positive, we were friends, but look.
Thank you.
Maybe you were friends once upon a time.
Maybe.
But over the last couple of years, I believe you were more friendly than friends. And that's okay.
Yep.
Things change, people, evolve, and it's not getting done. He's looking at all these, and Skip, he's looking. Hold on, I'm young. I'm 5, 6, 7, 8 years younger than Tom Brady. And this dude is still competing, getting to and winning Super Bowls. I'm looking at look at Drew Brees. Oh, everybody gets surrounded. Everybody they go get defensive help. Y'all didn't give me nothing. So, no, I'm not happy.
Didn't give you nothing?
Nothing.
The Green Bay defense has been better than Belichick this year.
No, it's not.
Well.
Not yardage, not points-wise. Stop it, Skip. Will you stop saying that?
Sunday was the first glimpse of a Belichick defense I've seen all season.
Well, look at Belichick's playoff defenses.
Well,
In 23 of 37 games, in the fourth quarter, 0 points. Jenny, is 0 good if you play it? Yeah.
it's because he has the transcendent quarterback, the one who rises above and wins in spite
Well,
of
then
the
why
head
didn't he
coach.
do that in Philly? In Super Bowl 52, why didn't he rise above Coach Belichick's poor defense? Why didn't he do that then, Skip?
Well, he did everything you could possibly ask a quarterback to do because he set the all-time yardage record in a Super Bowl, passing yardage, 505. How can you do better than that?
And you know what? He got some nice parting gifts.
Yeah.
Hot L. On a sweatshirt, hot L. Earmuffs, hot L. Headphones. Now, what?
Well, I keep asking, now what from the most overrated quarterback
He's not
in history is Aaron
Right.
Rodgers, given the fact that you call him the GOAT, and now Mike McCarthy is his scapegoat for the GOAT, and given the fact that you say he's transcendent, when I keep looking, the harder I look, the less I see here, because this is the most overrated quarterback in the history of football.
He's not
He is.
overrated. Stop it, Skip. You need to stop.
Well, I'm just saying, show me something here. I don't see it. I always tell you, the 5 wins he has since the Super Bowl are all very overrated because they're Joe Webb and Kirk Cousins and the Des Bryant catch game and the giant boat trip game and Mason Crossbar from 56 and 51. Do I need to keep?
But you see how you commend Mason Crossbar for that 51 and 56
I don't
yard.
commend him. They were the 2 luckiest kicks I've ever seen. I've never seen a football react the way it did off his foot.
I've never seen.
He missed both of them, and somehow by the hand of God, they came back through the uprights.
Have you ever seen it?
Seriously, by the hand of God on both of them.
Well, God must have been busy that day. He missed all those kicks in Detroit. He must have been busy. He had a church service to go to when he missed that kick in Arizona last week in Green Bay.
I don't know. Maybe
Where was he then?
Maybe he made a deal with the devil for
Yeah,
one game at Dallas.
He ain't make no deal.
I don't know.
But your day coming, Skip.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a lot to say. You keying. You in a position right now with a little power. You got a little power because the Cowboys are running good. But your day coming,
Where I got
bro.
power is over Aaron Rodgers.
No, you don't.
You got to live up, man.
Don't. No, you don't.
You are getting the ultimate pass for all those incomplete passes.
I bet Coach Belichick could trade Tom Brady for Aaron Rodgers right now.
He's 28th in
I bet
completion
he-
percentage.
What's your guy in touchdown passes?
I don't care. He's 9-3. That's all that matters.
I love how you look. I see you get away. You keep telling me Aaron Rodgers is 28th in completion percentage. That's an individual stat. But 9-3, which is a team stat, that's Tom Brady's stat.
Can you imagine what Tom Brady would be doing with Devontae Adams? He doesn't have a Devontae. He doesn't even have a Jimmy Graham because he's got about half a Gronk.
I love how you do that. When he plays
I know,
bad,
it's beautiful,
he got
'cause it's the truth. Thank
he
you.
has no one.
Yeah.
When he plays good, come on, Skip, you can't have it both ways.
Well, who does he have? The piano man?
Oh, so now he doesn't have anybody.
Well, you told me Josh Gordon's got a piano on his back.
But you
right?
but you tweeted about, look how good they look.
How do you know what I tweet?
Yeah, but see, now all of a
How do
sudden,
you know?
he the piano
Someone's
man.
telling you. Someone's telling him. I don't know.
He the piano man
So
now.
you follow me on your burner account.
No, I don't have a burner account.
Yes, you do.
I only got one phone.
Yeah.
Who has time?
Oh,
yeah,
one
okay.
phone?
Only got one.
Aha.
A lot of secrets over here.
Interesting.
Big news out of Ohio State this morning. Urban Meyer will retire as head coach after his Buckeyes play Washington in the Rose Bowl. He has admitted to dealing with medical issues this season, and Ohio State will have a press conference later today. In his 7 seasons in Columbus, Urban has won 3 Big Ten titles and a national championship. Offensive coordinator Ryan Day will take over as the next Buckeyes coach. All right, Shannon, we're just learning about this news. What's your reaction?
Well, I don't think this is surprising. We've heard rumblings over the last month or so that Urban Meyer was considering this, and they tried to shoot it down and, had no comment or, blase. But, normally when there's a little smoke, there's some fire somewhere to this, Skip. Clearly this season took a toll on him, and it's directly attributed to the Zach Smith situation.
Yep.
And then sometimes, Skip, Urban Meyer is the head coach of Ohio State. And people look at it and say this situation with Zach Smith should have been handled better, and it should have handled quick with a greater resolve.
Sure.
And in that process, we forget that Zach Smith is the perpetrator in this. Mm-hmm. But the blowback, Urban Meyer received more blowback than the guy that actually committed the act. He's dealing with a brain cyst. And no matter what the situation is.
But you're not defending Urban.
No, I'm not defending him. No,
Okay.
no.
I mean, you said that he's taking all the blowback.
No, I'm saying he got more blowback than the actual guy
he
that
did
committed the
continue
act.
to look the other way, so to speak, right?
But he shouldn't have had to look anyway, because if Zach Smith keep his hands to himself,
Okay.
guess what? Urban Meyer is free and clear. I'm not absolving him. He's in a position of authority.
All right.
He should have handled it different.
He should have.
Okay.
Because Zach was, quote unquote, like a son to him.
Right.
All right.
And I'll get to that in a minute. But what happens, Skip, this is Urban is dealing with a brain cyst. And no matter what your medical conditions are, the one thing they try to tell you to avoid is stress. Well, it's kind of hard to avoid stress when you're a college football coach, because the wins, the losses, the recruiting trail. Also, you are a parent to these kids that are away from home. You're also a psychologist and dealing with a lot of these issues, and you got to put game plans in the highs and lows, because you're at Ohio State. Winning is not enough.
Yep.
Winning Big Ten titles, beating Michigan, and competing for national titles.
Yeah.
That's the standard at which you coach at Ohio State. And then this Zach Smith situation. Skip, he afforded Zach Smith opportunities because Urban's mentor is Zach Smith's grandfather, which is Earl Bruce, who's a coach at Ohio State. He gave Urban his opportunity. So Urban wants to pay it forward. He wants to afford Zach Smith the opportunity that Earl Bruce, Zach Smith's grandfather, afforded him.
Yeah.
And he looked away a lot of times when he shouldn't have.
That is correct.
But Skip, that's the way, look, we know when we feel indebted to someone,
Okay.
we'll normally turn and we'll normally let things skate that we know we shouldn't. But because I'm in the position I'm in, Urban Meyer feels that he's in the position that he's in because of Zach Smith's grandfather. And the last thing that he
He knew Zach Smith when he was a little kid. He watched him grow up. Go
Yes.
ahead. Yeah.
So he would not want to do anything.
Okay, I got it. But then he stood before the Big Ten media
Oh,
on
he
media
lied.
day, and he lied.
Yeah.
And he paid for that because he got suspended for 3
Yeah.
games. So, okay. So, bottom line to this, is this more about misleading the media or mishandling the domestic assault allegations against Zach Smith? Or is it strictly medical that we're talking about here? Because it could be a little or a lot of both, maybe a mixture of both, right? So I do want to point out, if we can just stay on the football field for a moment, Urban Meyer is, I don't toss this word around, but he is an offensive genius. I'm not sure he even gets enough credit for his offensive genius, right?
Yeah.
Because
Right.
seriously, now that we can reflect for just a moment and look back on what he's done in college football, he's at Bowling Green for 2 years, he goes 17-6. He's at Utah for 2 years, he goes 22-2. He's at Florida for 6 years, he goes 66-15 and wins 2 national championships. And then he's at The Ohio State for 7 years, and he goes 82-9, and within the Big Ten, he goes 55-4, and he just annihilates Michigan.
What's the most
7
important
times.
thing? He's 7-0 against Michigan.
7-0. Well, that isn't just good. That is all-time great resume right there.
They build statues for guys like
They
that.
do. So as an offensive mind goes, there's nobody better in college football, which leads me to my question and point. I'm not sure there's anybody better in pro football offensively minded than this guy. So again, I don't know how much his health is coming into play. We saw him on the sidelines this year at Maryland. He's down on one knee, and it just looks like
Indiana,
he's going to burst a blood vessel.
And it seems like Maryland, Skip, every play, it was life or death. Be it Maryland had the ball or his team had the ball.
Okay, so I'm just going to throw this out. This would be an inspired risk for one Mark Murphy to take in Green Bay, but he would be the perfect fit for Aaron Rodgers if he's medically sound enough to go try that.
Well, Skip,
I'm just throwing it out there. I
has
can't think of a better fit for Aaron Rodgers than this guy.
But he has that cyst.
Okay, well, I don't know. Is that it? Is that all of it? Or does it have maybe as much to do with his suspension and the fact that the Ohio State finally said, you know what, that's enough of that.
But and to get to his football credentials, Skip, you can make a case he's one of the greatest modern coaches of all time. Now, if you go back to Frank Leahy, those guys, I mean, but I'm talking about, let's just say, of the last 30 years, you scoop up Dr. Tom Osborne and you get Nick Saban and you get Urban Meyer, you get some of these more modern coaches. He might be top 5. Now, we know Coach Bryant. So, at best case scenario, the best place I can slot him is 3. If you say he's better than Coach Osborne at the University of Nebraska. Now, we know he can't touch those 2 guys that don the sideline in Tuscaloosa. Now, we know
He's
that.
a better offensive mind than either one
No,
of them.
no. We don't
I'm
do
just
offense.
saying.
We do coaching.
Okay,
we do coaching right here, Jenny. You know what I'm saying?
You do recruiting.
No, don't do the skip line.
That's what you do.
Hold on. So Urban Meyer can't recruit?
No,
Did you see those guys he got at Florida? Did you see those guys he got at Ohio State?
Are those two easy places to recruit?
Yes.
To? Yeah.
Okay then.
Yep. You better recruit.
Now think about it. What you got to do? You got to Alabama. What's in Alabama? What's in that? How you tell somebody? How you go sit in somebody's mom's living room or grandma's couch? You go down there and say, hey, let me tell you, grandma do it. Baby, she asked, baby, where you from? Ma'am, I'm from the University of Alabama. Oh, I heard bad things about Alabama. Why I'm gonna send my baby down to you? Well, let me. I've coached in the NFL. I've coached college football for a very long time, ma'am. And I believe.
Who is this, Saban?
I'm Coach Saban.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Ma'am, and I believe your son has the ability to go play in the National Football League. Now, what I would like to do, I would like to take your son into my home, which is the University of Alabama. I would like to nurture him. And I believe in 3 years, I can get your son to the National Football League. And the place that you're living right now will be a thing of the past. So please allow me to coach your son.
What if Mama then asked Coach Saban, what was your record in pro football, Coach?
I'm not in pro football. My job, I'm a nurturer. What I like to do, I like to get
Well,
these
if
young
Mama's
minds.
smart, she might just say, you failed miserably when you
No,
tried to coach the Miami Dolphins,
She was like,
right?
she go like, baby, you believe you can get my baby to the NFL? I sure can, ma'am.
Well, he can do that.
Nobody does it better than me since I've been at Alabama.
Yep.
Baby, you going with that man. Now you get your things and going with that man. Cause that's what's gonna happen, Skip Bayless.
Unless that kid's a quarterback, and then you got.
You got Tua. You got Tua.
Yeah.
So
you had Tua until Saturday.
It was just So Coach Bryant, Coach Saban. You know, I think Coach Saban is better than Coach, but that's not. You go back and forth.
Yeah.
Coach Osborne, Urban Meyer, head coaches in the last 30, 35, 40 years.
Yeah.
Is there anybody better than those? Who you like?
Well,
you probably like khaki pants.
No, I don't. I told you, as an offensive mind, he's number one, and it's not even close because I can't think of anybody who's even his ballpark.
Yeah.
I can go back to Barry Switzer, who was really good on offense. He didn't invent the wishbone, but he perfected the wishbone.
Well, I tell you what Coach Saban did do.
Yeah.
Made him get up out of Florida.
Yeah.
He made him get up out of Florida.
I don't think he made
him get up out of Florida. Do you remember
about
that? Do you remember that SEC championship game when him and Tebow was crying on the sideline?
Okay.
Jenny, you was in college then. In 2009.
I remember.
Did you see that, Skip Bayless? Because he said, you know what? Coach Saban done came down here and got a stinker. Now, he ain't going anywhere anytime soon.
You remember the game after that, the last game Urban coached at Florida? It was the Orange Bowl. Do you remember Tim Tebow's last college game? When he threw,
played Cincinnati.
Whoa. He threw for 482 yards. He went 31 of 35 for 482.
And Cincinnati coach had left a couple of weeks before and took another job. Do you remember that, Skip Bayless?
You brought it up. I just had to finish the story.
If you don't mind me asking, why was he in the Orange Bowl?
So,
why was he there? Why was he in the Orange Bowl?
Here's the point. Urban Meyer has never tried pro football. And I'm saying 2 openings are very nice right now.
And you think the stress in college is...
Okay, but I don't know.
Them grown men, Skip.
Okay, but you don't have to recruit.
Yeah, but them grown men.
Okay,
and
I'm just saying, would he not be a great fit for Aaron Rodgers? And to me, and this is second on the list, he would also be a great fit for Baker Mayfield. I don't know if he'd want to inflict the Brown situation on him because it's much farther from being where Green Bay is right now.
Coaching college football is a lot easier because you can get you can get 17 and 18 and 19-year-olds to do things you can't get a grown man with a wife that's paying a mortgage to do. Because ask Coach Saban in Miami.
Or maybe you could say a quarterback who makes $100 million.
Hello, you keep going back to Aaron Rodgers. This is not an Aaron Rodgers segment.
Well, I want to know what you think about Urban going to Green Bay.
No,
what if he just said, you know what? I need a fresh start. I'm just going to go to Green Bay.
Skip.
You don't think they'd be interested?
The SID at Ohio State, says Urban is retiring because that cyst isn't getting smaller and the stress levels that he's dealing with is causing more damage.
Okay.
So don't go back.
That could be the case, or it could be the way he mishandled the Zach Smith situation.
Could be. So what about stress?
And again, would the NFL have an issue going forward with the way he mishandled this?
No, NFL should have. We know the NFL doesn't have an issue with a whole lot, so stop it.
I don't know.
It's interesting you bring that up because I remember when we sat down with Lincoln Riley, it came up a lot. We'd ask him about his plans for the NFL, possibly, and he downplayed it. I have sat in so many meetings with Urban, I can't recall one time.
I don't know why it doesn't.
We asked him about it, and now that I'm hearing this from you, I'm a little surprised. I think the cyst was the overarching issue that Urban was dealing with all
Right.
year.
Yep.
But I'm surprised that we never asked him about it. How bad it
I know
actually
he was on Colin's show on The Herd 2 years ago and was asked about it and just said he's happy in college and
Yeah,
likes to coach
happy in
college
college.
football.
I mean-
Okay, that's fine. Well, there is one job that could open up a year from now. They retain Clay Helton at USC, but USC is a sleeping giant. So what if Urban takes 1 year off and tries the sleeping giant here in Los Angeles?
Gets
Would
his
that
health in
work?
order.
Oh, so he just wanted to go just handpick. I mean, you can run, but you can't hide. If you're coaching college football, at some point, you have to deal with St. Nick. Now you can play
You know what?
you can play in the you can stick coaching the SEC. You can coach in the Big 10, the Big 12. You can coach whatever. But if you want to win titles, you got to go to the Alabama Invitational, and he's in charge of it.
If you handed Urban Meyer the USC job with the ability to recruit Southern California and Oregon and wherever else you want to go, you look out above. Look out.
We don't get a whole lot of guys from California. But what we do get, we get all those big guys from Florida. We get those guys from Alabama, Georgia. We'll swoop in every once in a while. We'll steal a guy from Ohio. So that's all we do. And guess what? Guess what happened going on December 29th? I don't know. Alabama Invitation.
The invitation.
I mean, Duke. And think about it. Duke win. They don't call the selection show. They don't call that. No, they don't do that, Skip. But in football, in college football, they're looking for 3 teams that can join Alabama in the Alabama Invitational.
Really?
Every year.
Well, it's interesting because now Alabama's got a quarterback controversy. That's going to be a
We ain't got no
have a bit of a
controversy.
quarterback
We don't do controversy at
Well, I think you just did.
We don't.
Yeah.
No,
You
we
just
don't do
did
that.
one against Georgia.
We don't do that, Skip.
Yeah.
Why do you want?
He just wants to talk about Alabama. He's ready to move on.
I don't know.
You worry about? I bet we put foots in y'all.
The
Well,
last
I
thing.
hope so.
Foots.
You're a 14-point favorite, and it'll probably be bet up to 20 by game time, right? You like that?
Put foots in them.
Yeah, okay.
Speaking of retiring, is Tom Brady getting closer to calling it quits?
Good question.
We'll discuss next.
No mercy.
Tom Brady put another mark on his resume on Sunday with his 1,000th career rushing yard. Brady did it on a 5-yard run in the first quarter, and he stepped forward on a kneel down at the end of the game so he could maintain his 1,000-yard mark. Yesterday, Brady joked on Instagram that he can now retire after setting his new milestone. Let's hear it.
What's up? 9-3. But you know what? The only reason I've been playing 19 years is to get to that 1,000 yards. And I did it, so that's it. I'm out.
Yeah.
Time to ride off into the sunset. Nah, gotta get back to work.
Yeah. Yeah.
According Tom, love
Oh,
it. I do
that was
like it.
beautiful.
Okay, Shannon.
Wait, did he get into a Bentley in his driveway? Did you see it?
I think Aston Martin.
Is it an
Yeah,
Aston
we were
Martin?
talking about that. Do you like it, love it, or by your face, hate it?
Hated it. Skip, this is ridiculous. Tom, you're not funny. You're not funny.
Maybe he wasn't
We're
trying to be
laughing
funny.
over here.
No, you're not. It's shame. He's corny. You
okay.
golly shucks gee whiz, and you don't know how Peyton Manning is funny. Hence the Saturday Night Live. You see him in his commercials. He's funny.
True.
Tom, that's not you, bro. Stay in your lane. Do what
Really?
you do.
He makes his own lane.
Hold on. Can you imagine Michael Jordan doing this? Because this is what Skip Bayless tells me every time that LeBron James try to do something on social media. Can you imagine LeBron? Can you imagine Michael Jordan, the GOAT, doing that?
Nope.
Exactly. So if Tom Brady see, here's the thing. He tries to he was joking when he kneeled forward, but in actuality, he's very serious. He's concerned about them stats. He cares about. We got the video. All of them. Stop. This.
Well, it took forever to get to 1,000 yards.
It's
He's
not-
proud of it.
It's not your turn. It's my turn. DJ, can you drop that track right quick? I got a track I had pulled up, Skip.
Yeah.
When I watched Carson Wentz take a knee last night, did it 3 times in a row. He stepped back from
How
the
many
line of
times are we
scrimmage.
going to have to see
They
this?
know as many times I want it. Many times. I don't normally show video. Now I watch walk it to him. He took a knee 3 times. He stepped back from the line of scrimmage and took a knee. Now Tom Brady went forward and took a knee.
He
and
did it on purpose.
That's my
He was
point.
trying to preserve his 1,000.
But he doesn't care about stats, is what I've been told.
The game was over. It's called victory formation. It's over.
Hold on. He's coach. Skip Bayless has told me on numerous occasions, stats are unimportant. All he's care about is winning. If it's victory formation, victory has already been decided. So why do you care if you lose a yard, if you lose 3 yards? Why do you care? The victory is already at hand.
Because you ran the ugliest 40-yard dash in the history of the NFL Combine, and you finally got to 1,000.
You could get to 10,000. It's not going to erase
by
that
the way,
video.
he made a key run in that game when it was still hanging in the balance against Jenny's Vikings. It was a big-time run. He bolted right out of the pocket. I don't know, did he go for like 5 yards? But
Tom is corny.
big first down.
Tom is corny.
Huh?
So you can be you can be self-deprecating, but he's not funny. And he's trying to be in this situation, and he's just not, Skip. It's okay. Everybody can't do this. Everybody can't be serious like old Shay Sharpe and then turn around and be in 2 sentences later. They can't do that, Skip.
Oh, that's just scary.
Yeah, I'm saying I got the A.
That's called
skill.
split personality.
Yeah,
that's called alter ego.
That's a good movie. You see that movie Split? M. Night Shyamalan?
You know what? I tried to watch it.
Ooh,
but
that's good.
I can't say
That's a good.
this.
But Skip, stop it. You know Tom Brady was corny. Jen, I can't believe you, Jenny.
What? What do you mean? I like corny Tom.
You like cornballs.
It's harmless.
You know,
it's fun. I'm also realizing that's probably how I look posting
The only
videos.
reason I played for 19 years was to get that 1,000. And so I'm out. Nope. Gotta go to work. Oh, ooh.
You know, Shannon actually has a third personality. It's white guy Shannon, right?
Baby. Oh, Skip, you know.
White guy Shannon.
Ooh.
Love it when you do white guy. Yeah.
He made, ooh.
So, Jenny,
my
did
blood
you
boil.
just observe what happened?
Did.
So
yes.
when I saw this last night for the first time, I loved it because I laughed out loud knowing what it was going to do to him. It was going to push every deepest button in there because you just can't stand it.
Because he's not funny.
Because he is so lame, he is so corny, he is so cringeworthy, and he knows it, and he doesn't care. He's actually rubbing your nose in the fact that he doesn't care what you think because he knows he's actually making fun of all you haters because Shannon Sharpe, the Hall of Famer, says Tom Brady's going to make it maybe one more year, and then some games he has a bad game, and he should retire today. He should stop
After
now.
the game.
Yeah, after the game, he should retire. He's washed up, says the Hall of Famer Shannon Sharpe. But Tom Brady keeps saying, no, you know what? I'm still okay. And then he throws for 311 against the Minnesota Vikings front.
42 of it
really
was
good.
cheap.
Okay, so it's cheap. So Carson Wentz got a bunch of cheap ones
But
last
Skip,
night,
he's
too.
not funny. Him being funny is the equivalent of Roseanne singing the national anthem. That was a horrible rendition.
That is a terrible analogy.
No, it's not.
That is not even
Him
close
being
to right.
funny. Name the time Tom
That
Brady.
is terrible.
Name the time
He
Tom
wasn't abusing the national anthem when he did this post.
He's giving all the comedians, the Eddie Murphys and the Lenny Bruces and the Red Foxes and the Richard Pryor's, all these guys that's great at it, he's giving them a bad name.
He's clowning you.
No, he clowned himself.
You think that he's going to retire, and then he says, nope, back to work, and it's funny.
No, it's
It was
not.
a good punchline.
It was witty.
Jenny,
I laughed
Jenny,
out
stop.
loud, too.
Jenny, don't do that.
He's got to get back to work. In that New England winter in his Aston Martin,
Yeah.
whatever it is. Is it
Stop.
Aston Martin?
It's an
I don't
Aston
know. We
Martin.
were
It's an
looking at
Aston
it in the
Martin.
break.
sure?
I'm 1,000%.
1,000?
He would know more than
Would
me.
you know?
I've never
I would
been in
know.
How
an
many
Aston
Aston Martins have you owned?
I've never owned an Aston Martin. I've had a lot of other cars. but
I
not
thought
this.
you had 2 or 3 in your
No,
garage.
no,
You
no,
got
no,
like
no.
a 10-car garage up there in Bel Air.
2. I only got. I sold one of my cars. I only got 2 cars now. Yeah.
You only have 2?
2.
What do you take to the grocery store? Don't you have a grocery store car, like a fourth
Well, I got
or
to
fifth
drive.
car?
I got the dogs. I got to have a car for the dogs.
true.
Yeah, Tonka went riding yesterday. But Skip, you first of all,
This is beautiful. I love it.
he's not funny though.
Okay, but it's funny because of what it does to you. Because you
I'm
want
the
him,
only one.
You want him to go away. You got straight Brady hate emanating
Skip,
from
I
across
don't
the table.
know. You know what, Skip? If he wants to play, I just want him to stay off social media. How about that?
He's
Can
not going to.
Why
And
not?
you know what I love? Tom Brady is the rare human being who does not care what anybody thinks about Tom Brady, least of all you.
He does care.
So he's clowning you because he's basically saying, nope, got to get back to work because he's going to play until he's 45, whether you like it or not.
Well,
I gotta knock
hold
on
on,
wood.
time out. Hold on,
Yeah,
hold
knock on
on,
wood.
hold on,
Okay.
time out, Jenny.
What?
He doesn't care what anybody thinks, but he sure cared a whole lot about Coach Belichick wanting Jimmy Garoppolo in there, didn't he? Because he went upstairs and talked to his dad, Mr. Kraft, and talking about, Dad, he's trying to get rid of me. So he sure cared Now, when Jim Gray, hold on, what
I'm
is
talking
it?
about what the public thinks of him, he does not care.
Oh, but he care about Coach Belichick?
Well, if he's going to replace him, yeah, he cares.
Why he care?
Because he wants Coach Belichick replaced.
Skip, all I'm saying is, look, at some point in time, Skip, I'm not trying, when I do this, I don't try to be Ed Bradley. I don't try to be Mike Wallace or Morley Safer. I do what I do. That's who I am.
No, you got a little Ed Bradley in you.
Yeah, well, I did watch like hundreds and hundreds of hours of his interviews.
Did you turn up the sound or just watch his
No.
lips?
I turned up the sound.
Oh, you did?
I had
Okay.
my producer, Eric Mann, to a full 100 hours of his interviewing styles when he was on 60 Minutes. But, Skip, I do what I do. I stay in my lane. That's what I do. When I go back and forth with you, this is me.
Tom Brady makes his own lane.
No, he don't.
He's shattering the mold of what a franchise quarterback should be. Because you
corny?
can't...
They should be corny?
Okay, you can't process the fact this guy's the greatest quarterback ever because he doesn't act like the greatest quarterback ever. You want the greatest quarterback ever to be hip and cool and have a little edge to him and get their coach fired the way Aaron Rodgers just did.
Really, first of all, Skip, there's only one quarterback that's ever thought of being hip and cool, and that was Joe Namath. And nobody ever thought Joe Namath was the GOAT. Quarterbacks are normally more buttoned up, and they do things according to, and Tom, to a certain extent, he does. But since the advent of social media, and now all of a sudden he wants to show a different side, the corny side that all his family knows that exists, he wants the public to see that side.
Was that a selfie video that he took?
Yeah.
He just selfied it. This is Tom Brady. This is great. It was just for your benefit.
It was not,
He was
because I don't follow him on IG.
Well,
I didn't know until y'all pulled this up.
You're just talking about him on national TV.
Yeah.
Way to go, Tom. You got him.
No,
he got you again.
I could have done without the video. I could have done without the video. Y'all just could have asked me.
I know.
Could have asked me about corny Tom, and I could have told you the facts of the case. But this is ridiculous.
Yeah,
Skip.
Jenny and I just loved it.
Jenny,
I watched it a couple times.
Yeah. You know what? I watched it about 17 times.
I'm about to be out.
did.
You know what, Skip? Jenny, go
Every time he delivers the punchline, I laugh louder.
What punchline?
I got to get back to work.
He need to be punched. I should punch him.
I got to get back to work.
I got to get back to work. Skip, you ought to be ashamed of yourself, Skip.
I got to get back to work in my Aston Martin in the New England.
Exactly.
Yep.
He got an Aston.
Do it.
An Aston Martin in New England.
I know.
Yep.
Life is good.
Yeah.
Tom Brady.
Life is good. He's 9-3.
Yep. We'll remind you,
the
Shannon.
The Patriots are 9-3. Stop saying
He
that.
still gets to play Miami and Buffalo and the Jets. I don't know. We look at the number 1 seed in the AFC here. Woo.
Put dew on it.
I don't need dew on it.
At
I got him
Pittsburgh-
going to the
Pittsburgh.
Super Bowl.
I got Pittsburgh beating you.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Well, when we get to that game, there might be mountains of dew on that
We'll get to that game, but first we're getting to this one. Should the Cowboys be scared of the Eagles in the
Very.
NFC East? We'll discuss with D'Angelo Hall next, and I'll
Very.
tell you the next Brady video share.
No mercy.
Well, for the first time this season, the Eagles have won back-to-back games. They stayed in the playoff hunt by beating Mark Sanchez and the Redskins last night. Carson Wentz threw for over 300 yards, had 2 touchdown passes. The Eagles are now 6-6, 1 game behind the Cowboys, and they head to Dallas on Sunday. The Redskins are also still in the mix at 6-6. We're joined by FS1 NFL analyst and former Redskin, D'Angelo Hall. Good morning.
Good morning. How y'all doing?
Sorry about last night.
Yeah.
Boy.
Yeah, things happen, man. You just can't catch a break, can we?
When you look at the NFC East, how do you think it will play out?
I mean, it's Dallas's division to lose at this point. The Redskins having to go to a backup in Colt McCoy and watch him get hurt, and now go to another backup in Mark Sanchez, who hasn't been in that offense very long. You kind of have to write them off. Philly has the toughest road left. They have the Cowboys, they have the Rams, the Texans. I don't know if they can win 2 of those games, and they need to at least win 2. Dallas has the easiest slate. They got Philly, they got the Colts, they got the Bucks and the Giants. The Giants are going to definitely probably have quit by that point, the last game of the season.
Well,
so.
hopefully Odell don't do what he did on Sunday, and the Giants might still be in business.
Yeah, but it's Dallas's division to lose.
This is coming
so
from a
Skip
former
is
Redskin.
And I hate to say it, but he's gonna be smiling.
Yeah.
And he has a lot of
He's gonna do
on
the
this
do.
division.
Yeah, you got a lot riding on it.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, when it's all said and done, guess who's going to be in the catbird seat?
Not you.
Yeah, I'm going to be in the catbird seat.
Not you.
Look,
or
I
limp it to
understand.
'em.
When you look at, and D-Hall, you mentioned it, at Cowboys, at Rams, homes to the Texans, at Washington. I believe the Eagles get 3 of those 4. They're going to get 3 of those 4. I think the only game they're going to lose is at the Rams. That's what I believe. I'm just saying, Skip. I'm just going to be honest with you.
Okay.
I believe walking to them will play better because I wasn't impressed with them last night, given what they were going up against. That was a battered team. That's a shell team of themselves. When you go from Alex Smith to Colt McCoy, like I said, if this was a rodeo, you want a guy named Colt, not the quarterback. And then you go to, man, Mark Sanchez. Can't believe he's still around hanging on for whatever reason.
Neither, but
So, look, by this time next week, next Monday, you're not here next week, but I give you a call. But on Monday, the look on that man's face, gonna be red. He gonna be all down. I can't believe it. He gonna be done with Dak Prescott again. He gonna throw the jersey that ED gave him. He gonna throw that one in the trash, and I'm just gonna be over here.
look, Philly could beat Dallas, but it doesn't matter if Philly beats Dallas because Philly can't win. I don't think they can win 3 of those games, but I do think they have a chance to beat Dallas. But even if Dallas loses to Philly, then they're tied. But still, the Cowboys' path is just so much easier
You
than
just
Philly.
described my catbird seat over here that I'm sitting in. That's why I am so confident. And that's why on Monday, I'm going to be sipping the nectar of the gods, the breakfast of champions, Diet Mountain Dew, because I'm going to be swimming in it.
Okay, Skip, you burned it. In gambling, what
You
they
know
call
what?
you burnt, you touched the money.
I got so much
burned the
dew
dice.
that I might just sell it all and move up to Bel Air with you. I don't know. I might be able to.
Nope, we don't want you up there. Nope.
Yeah. So here's what's about to happen. I give my Cowboys a chance to win out against that schedule because it's the easiest path home.
Yeah.
And you realize Philly, just on sheer record, is now facing the toughest closing schedule in pro football, in the whole NFL. This is the toughest because you got 7-5 Dallas, you got 11-1 Rams at Dallas, and then you got 9-3 Texans, and the Redskins are still sitting at 6-6, but are they dead in the water? Probably so. Colt McCoy would have made it interesting, and I still believe Colt McCoy would have won that game last night for the Redskins. I just believe it. And he got off to a nice start. He was 4 for his first 4.
Yeah,
He hit Doxton for a 32-yarder up the left side that put them in field goal range. Yeah. He's just a gamer. He's just a gutty little battler, you know. He knows how to play.
Colt McCoy got off to a nice start against Dallas. But here's the thing that's concerning about the Cowboys. 24th in scoring offense, 27th in passage, last in sacks allowed. You like that? You like that? In the words of First Cousins, Kirk Cousins. You like that, Skip?
I wish he were still playing for the Redskins. But
I'm sure
anyway,
he
that's a whole other thing. You know what? Those stats are skewed by the fact that Amari Cooper has just hit his stride with Dak Prescott. So you can throw all that junk out the window because it's a lot of junk.
Yeah, I can't throw it out the window, Skip, but they won't be as bad as of a passing team as those numbers say, but they're not as great as everyone thinks they are either.
So what am I supposed to do with that 13 they scored against the Saints?
All I know is my defense played the greatest game against all odds in Dallas Cowboy history.
They did.
Against the hottest offense in pro football and the quarterback having the greatest single quarterback year, according to QBR, ever. And they come into Jerry World for a Thursday night game, and they get shut down.
Yeah.
The shock to me was on that Thursday night, not one time did I see any Saint receiver running open. And every time I watch Drew Brees and the Saints, every other play, somebody's just running wide open. I say, how does he get so open? I don't even know who these guys are. They're all undrafted free agents. But this little free agent is running down the seam wide open. It didn't happen one time all of Thursday night. So walk it to him is going to have a long night.
And you know what I noticed? You never hear anybody make excuses that Drew Brees is throwing to undrafted free agents. But I know a guy that'll sit up here at this desk every day and make excuses about Julian Edelman's a 7th-round draft pick, and Chris Hogan was undrafted, and Josh Gordon has a piano on his back,
Says
and
the Hall of Famer.
and Rob Gronkowski is a shell of himself.
He is, says the Hall of Famer.
But Drew Brees makes no concession speeches. Nobody's up here, man, Drew Brees don't really have anybody to throw to but Michael Thomas. Nobody said that.
That's why Drew Brees should be leading the MVP race
But
even
he's
after
not.
what happened
But
last
he's
Thursday.
not. And I told you what was going to happen.
We'll see about
Who's
that.
leading the QBR, Skip?
Yeah, long way
No,
to go.
Oh,
Long way to
now
go.
it's a long way to go.
Long way to go.
Who's leading the QBR? The people
You know
don't
what? I was disappointed in Patrick Mahomes' game at Oakland the other day. He only threw for 295. How can you do that against the Raiders?
With four tubs.
Yeah.
You proud of that, Skip?
4 tubs. It's like 6 yards, 4 yards, 3 yards.
That's all.
They just tub it into the end zone.
Did you see Tom Brady?
Let him stack.
Tom Brady. White in the flat. Oh, Hogan in the flat. Edelman in the flat. That's all he does, Skip.
Yeah.
Check down Charlie.
Boy, he threw some gunshots to that piano man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he doesn't get open. You have to fit it in tight windows to the piano man.
And look at Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes just throwing that thing.
So I got Dallas very possibly winning out. I got Philly losing its next 3 games.
We got due on that.
Would be the
And
end
we
of
got
that
due
deal.
on Dallas not winning out.
So what am I concerned about? I do get concerned that my owner called the New Orleans game a Super Bowl. He compared it to a Super Bowl. So is there going to be post-Super Bowl letdown for the Eagles coming in? I think not, because I needed the Eagles to win last night to even their record and Washington's record at 6-6, 1 game behind Dallas. And I needed the Eagles to win fairly impressively just to get Dallas's attention. I did not want the Eagles to sneak into town where Dallas didn't take them very seriously.
They got their undivided attention.
And that's the thing. When you play a team like the Saints, you get everybody's best shot. You saw DeMarcus Lawrence make that statement, and those guys rallied behind him.
Backed it up.
Can they do that every single week? I don't know. I just don't
What always
know.
happens about this time of year? Some team comes from nowhere, such as the debacle against
When was the
Tennessee
last time
on
it was?
Monday night.
When was it?
Comes from nowhere and just takes off.
Yeah.
Makes a
And it's a
run.
beautiful thing to watch
When-
because it just all kind of
When
comes
was that
together.
And it could be your Cowboys.
When was that ever the
It could be.
Cowboys?
When was it ever?
Has-
Ever
been them
in
bad.
the history.
That's what he's
92,
holding out hope for.
93,
It could be.
95.
Skip, they were 12-4.
What?
Huh?
They were 12-4.
When?
In 92, 93, 95.
Oh, but they came together at the end of the year. They
No.
just took off. This team is poised for takeoff if it hasn't already. I think
know
it's already taken off.
You know what, Skip? You ought to be ashamed.
What did Jerry Jones say? We'll be able to look in the mirror and know that we're different. What did he say? Different cats. We're different cats now.
No, you're not. You're the same
Hey,
cat.
look.
That means you're in the cat bird.
No,
seat.
it does not mean that.
Let's not get confused. Dallas has a lot of deficiencies. They are just the best
Best
worst
of the
team in
least,
that
yeah.
division right
Okay.
now. The best worst team.
Okay,
That
that's
even makes
fine.
sense.
Yeah, you heard it. Best work.
Best worst.
You know what? My defense just might be the best in pro football. I know the stats say Baltimore. We're sitting pretty at second.
But you like stats.
Yeah. Well, there have been times this year we've been first, and I think we played like first.
What
against
about
New Orleans.
you know what? Nah.
Right?
I can't name nobody in that secondary except for Byron Jones.
Really? Well, he's simply the best corner, but shut
I
down
would say
corner
he's
in
the
football.
best corner, but
well, have you seen anybody better at shutting down a number
If
one?
he's so great at corner, why wasn't he playing corner from the jump? Why was he playing safety? Because he couldn't play corner.
Yeah.
He could not play corner.
But I'm trying to
He's
figure.
fish out of water at safety.
D-Hall, you've been coming on this show for a long time. Now, you've heard this man for the last 3 years. All he talked about was that. The man we just spent 7 minutes, 38, 39, 40 seconds talking about the Dallas Cowboys, and he didn't mention that. He talked
Not
about
one
his
time.
defense.
Not one
now,
time.
why is that, Skip Bayless?
I can sum him up in 2 words. Warrior winner. That's what he is. Warrior winner.
You always
he
talk
is.
about him. But now,
He
now
will beat you with his legs.
He's a competitor.
He'll beat you
Yeah.
on third down with his arm. He'll
heard-
just make plays. That's
We've
what he
talked-
does.
Skip,
He makes plays.
We've talked about the Cowboys, and you mentioned Zeke, you mentioned Amari Cooper,
Yep.
and you mentioned your defense.
Yeah.
But the captain of the team, I have yet to hear you mention his name. Why is
He's
that?
a man who needs no introduction.
Yeah.
He gets plenty of love on this show. But when you look at the NFC East, the division hasn't had a repeat winner since 2004. So if you look at history, Cowboys in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
They got
I mean, that's just history, Shannon.
Yeah.
Just
That's
facts.
his story.
You know? Okay. D'Angelo, thanks
But your
for
day
being here.
comes,
You'll be
Skip,
back later in the show. Should Kobe be talking trash to Warrior fans?
That's a good
I'll tell you next.
No mercy.
The Lakers are on a 3-game winning streak and just 2 wins behind the Warriors. LeBron's squad wasn't expected to challenge Golden State this season, but according to Laker legend Kobe Bryant, they're not too far away. Kobe said yesterday, quote, "Enjoy the journey because we'll be champions before you know it. And then we'll just be laughing at all the Warrior fans who all of a sudden came out of nowhere." We're joined by FS1 NBA analyst Chris Broussard. Glad you're here. But Shannon, I will start with you. Do you like Kobe saying this?
Well, I don't have a problem with him saying it. And the sooner is if Kevin Durant leaves. The later is if he stays. We know that. Look, Kobe is Laker through and through. He played 20 years, Skip, and Kobe still's not 40 years of age. So for the better part of over half his life, he's been a Laker. So we know how he feels about this. But here's what's going unnoticed. This old Kobe talking about LeBron, because he knows what's there. He could talk about Rob Pelinka's done a great job of having cap space and room, and the young guys. Take LeBron off that team. Kobe ain't talking like this. See, that guy right there that everybody been talking about, Kobe paying his due, his respect, his proper respect.
To Pelinka?
No, to LeBron. Let me ask you a question.
How? Explain that, what you mean.
If you think LeBron was not there, Kobe talking like this?
No.
That's the respect that he's giving him.
Well, you had to reach for that.
I ain't got to reach for nothing. I ain't got to reach for nothing, Skip Bayless.
But isn't he reaching? Kobe's reaching. Because like you said, this is not a championship team.
No, not even
This
close.
is not a championship
Not even
team.
close. No.
And all that talk about the patience with the young guys and them developing, that's hogwash. This is not the team.
LeBron nor Kobe was patient.
Right. They can be good, but they can't be a championship team. We know the formula for LeBron to win a championship. It's to have a second superstar.
Super.
Who can go get his own stuff. But Kyrie and Dwayne Wade.
Okay.
And then some shooters, some role-playing shooters around him. So, like you said, if Kevin Durant goes there, it should be a wrap.
I'd say.
Right? But
It's a
I
wrap
don't know.
on both ends, Northern California and Southern California.
I agree. I agree if Durant goes to the Lakers.
Okay.
I don't think Golden State is done if Durant leaves. And that's the interesting thing. First of all, I think they'll be incredibly motivated if Durant leaves to get back, let's get back to that 73-win team, that team that won a championship. You know they feel they should have won 2 rings.
Right.
Okay? So they'll be motivated.
Thought it should be 4 straight instead of 3 out of 4.
And here's the thing, though. That team did not win 73 in the championship just because they had superior talent. Like, if you put LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love on one side, and Steph, Clay, and Draymond on another, you're picking this group every time. Am I wrong? LeBron, Kyrie, and
Yes,
Kevin Love.
absolutely, yes.
But it was the chemistry. It was the way they played. It's their shooting ability, their strength in numbers, depth, all that. So I don't think they would be done. If Durant goes to the Lakers, I think he and LeBron would be unbeatable. But if he goes somewhere else, then I think, let's say he goes to the Clippers. I think the Clippers, I think the Lakers, I think the Warriors. Like, you'd have several elite teams that could win it. So I don't think the Warriors will be done if Durant leaves. And I think Kobe is competitive. And I know he probably wishes he could have competed against that Warriors team like when he was in his prime and some of his great teams. But look, unless the Lakers get that second guy, they're not winning the championship.
So is it possible Kobe's coming out of retirement to play for this team? Is that what he's saying?
No,
a lot of people in L.A. think that. Do you really? No,
I don't.
No,
I
there's
don't.
no way.
You saw the
There's
last
no
3
way.
years before he retired.
I did.
Yeah.
Well, his
He can
body
come out of
broke down.
retirement for like a game or 2.
So you always have to be leery when a superstar, an ex-superstar, is at a team event featuring season ticket holders, and he's speaking to he's preaching to the choir, right? Because he's being interviewed by a Laker broadcaster, speaking to the fans, and he's telling them exactly what they want to hear. Now, have I been impressed with this Laker team? Do I think this Laker team could shock this world this year? I give it a long shot chance, way more than I did. Before the year, I gave it no chance. But I just want to say a couple of quick things. This team is 9th in defensive efficiency, and I thought it was playing no defense in the preseason.
With LeBron.
And
Well, and
LeBron James,
remember how-
let me finish. To his point, because I always rub it in, LeBron finished last year 318th in defensive individual win shares. He's 30th right now. So he is playing some defense. He is committing to both ends of the floor. In fact, it's taking a little away from his offense because his PER is way low for his career numbers. He's 8th in PER. Usually he's battling for 1, 2, 3.
Top 1 through, yeah. Top 3.
So he is sacrificing some offense to commit to the defensive end. I don't know if that's Magic whispering in his ear. I don't know if Lucas challenged him. I don't know. Maybe he just took it upon himself to say, we can't do this unless I show these kids how to play defense. And Kuzma is responding because he's starting to really defend at a pretty high level.
And remember how poorly they started the year defensively. So
just terrible.
Over the last, after the first 2 weeks
Last
of the season, they probably
games.
really been playing maybe top 5 defense.
Great.
So the wild, wild west, the deep west, has suddenly turned into the weird, weird west because so many teams that are now out of the playoffs as we speak have issues where I didn't know Jimmy Butler. I didn't know how that was going to play out with the T-Wolves. Are they still pretty good? Yeah, they're still pretty good. And they waxed Houston last night and held Houston at 29 points in the second half. And now Houston's got all kinds of issues going on. They can't defend anymore. They lost their defensive sort of identity. And I look at my Spurs. They lost DeJounte Murray. They don't have a point guard. So
No,
it's
they
hard
lost
on
Kawhi.
them.
Because Kawhi did it.
No, if they had DeJounte Murray, trust me, they would be a playoff team. But I told you before the year, that's a huge loss because he was an elite defender at point guard.
See, the difference is, if they had DeJounte Murray, they'd be a playoff team. They had Kawhi, they'd be a title.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
You do.
I don't.
Doesn't know.
I did notice that Toronto lost at home last night. To the Western
Skip,
Conference
that's
team.
unnecessary, Skip.
It's not
20 and 5 now.
Yeah.
20 and 5.
They lost to the Denver Nuggets.
Harris
That's
is
interesting.
Jokic had a triple-double, too. But, Skip, the thing that concerns me about the Lakers is two things, glaring, and they happen on a nightly basis. Free throw shooting and turnovers.
Glad you brought that up. LeBron's now down to 71%, 3%.
Skip, I'm trying to make a point.
He bet me another case.
Skip,
the
I'm
guy
trying
knew
to
that he's going to be
80%.
80 plus.
Skip, I'm trying to make
Why do you do that?
Skip, I'm trying to make a point.
Your pride just gets the best
I'm
of you
trying to
every
make a
time.
point right here.
Okay, go ahead.
Why they can't be serious contenders. You can't turn the ball over 15, 20. One night they had 24 turnovers. They shoot, as a team, they shoot 56%, 60% sometimes on a nightly basis from the free throw line. You can't be a serious contending team with those two glaring issues on a nightly basis. It's just not going to happen.
You do, though, believe, right? They could be, as Skip was saying about the West, it's a mess.
Oh, they could be
after
a
Golden
2 or
State.
3.
They could be, like, at the
2 or 3 seed.
Whether it's the second best record in the league, who knows if they're. I don't really care about the second best record in the West. That doesn't mean you're the second best team.
Right.
But I do think they have as good a shot as anybody else in the West of getting to the conference final.
Yeah.
If they can avoid Golden State in the early
first or
round,
second round, yeah.
who's better? Like, I would pick them over Denver. In the playoffs, I would pick them.
Close.
I certainly pick
Close
them over.
call.
Well, but LeBron should be the difference.
LeBron.
He should be.
He should be the difference.
In that matchup, I agree.
And
He is by far the best player on the
And we
court.
do the
Now,
Grizzlies.
Denver's got depth. They got a lot of nice, pretty good
They
players,
do.
and they got one real good player.
Jokic, I don't think Jokic has that dog, that
No.
aggressive, I'm going to take over, right?
Well, what happened here at Staples, Lance came in and just took that game over in the
Stop
fourth quarter.
saying that.
Well,
LeBron
he did.
delivered.
He
That
did
triple
not.
dub.
I'm sorry, Lance took that game.
And you know we do what you call them. We do the Clippers. Do them.
They're going to
Well,
be, they'll be better
wait
at
a
the end of the
second.
day than the Clippers.
are 16-7, tied for the top spot in the West.
And the Grizzlies.
What did I
The
tell you
Grizzlies
before
will
the
be
year
done.
started?
Yeah, you did.
LeBron's team is going to be the second best team in LA.
Never
Do
happened.
you think at the end of the year the Clippers will be better than the Lakers?
I think they got a shot
Like in
because
the
they're
playoffs?
so deep. And hey, Tobias Harris is going to be an all-star.
He's got a
He
great
is
shot.
playing.
He was Western Conference Player of the Month.
You know
Well,
what?
yeah, and the
I
West is
watched the
tough.
whole game last night. They were at New Orleans, and New Orleans is pretty tough at home.
Julius Randle.
And they got him. They got him in the end.
Julius
And
Randle was
Lou
unbelievable.
Williams is unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
And
He just
Gallinari's playing
He's
well, too.
unbelievable. But
If he
Lou
just
Williams
can
comes
stay
in and
healthy.
he's making shots where I say, how's that go in?
Yeah.
No,
Okay,
He got a great-
that's what they got.
He
They're
might got
tough.
the second greenest light to Steph Curry.
He might.
But how many times have we seen a team without a superstar go deep in the playoffs? It just rarely happens.
Yep.
Rarely.
They got it. Hey, that Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, he's pretty
Yeah,
good. We had Doc on the show talking about he
Okay.
is a long 6'6" point guard.
Okay,
He
and
is legit long.
Okay, Skip, at the end of the
he
day,
is.
all that sounds good, and Doc did an unbelievable job.
He's done a great job.
And Doc came on the show, Chris.
He
He
did.
was
Has,
he was unbelievable.
Yep.
But which one of those teams got LeBron and which one doesn't? Because that's the team that's going to go furthest in the playoffs.
That's
well,
the truth.
the Lakers got LeBron at the free throw line late in the game.
Oh,
so
my
I don't
goodness,
know.
Skip,
I think
stop!
What, isn't that a
He's
liability?
shooting them better by then.
Oh, really?
He will be shooting
I
them
sure
better.
hope
Not
so.
80%, but he'll be
He
shooting
goes
them
to
better.
80. He goes to 80.
But didn't I just bring up a liability? You talk about free throws in general. I'm talking about late game clutch free throws. I'm covering my eyes.
Let me ask you a
don't
question.
know.
We're not even getting to that free throw because he hitting them threes.
Oh,
he hitting
really?
them threes from Vallejo. You see him pull up? Where he pull it up from, Chris?
Yeah.
Pull it up.
Vallejo, that's
Yeah.
far. That's,
Yeah, I wanna-
I
I
would,
mean,
and
that's
I
like
think
that's like 2/3 of the state, right?
I think in your heart of hearts you agree with this though. At the end of the game, I don't want to see a step back three.
Thank you.
You know you agree with that.
He does.
I don't
know
want to
about
see a
that face.
28-foot step back three. You're not Steph Curry.
It all depends. It all depends. I mean, when he got it going, shoot it well. Shoot it how you want to.
Go to the hole.
No.
Go to the hole.
So help me out here.
Yeah.
Which of these teams are going to catch fire? T-Wolves, New Orleans, Spurs, Houston, Utah. They're all out
None
of
of
the playoffs.
them.
Okay. I was
Out
gonna
of-
say, you know who the tough team out there is? Oklahoma City.
Okay, well, they're on a fire. They are
Great
They're all the way up
defense.
to 15-7. They don't have Robertson back yet.
Right.
And
Like
he,
they
he-
gonna
he
be
got delayed.
tough.
He gonna be hurt again. Y'all know Paul George can't do nothing with Bron. Now he done went to a whole lot of different locations. He couldn't do nothing with LeBron when he was in Miami. He couldn't do nothing with LeBron in Cleveland. He went to OKC.
Well, I know
do you
he
remember
did. He
that on that Tuesday night when
But-
LeBron
but-
cooked him?
Wait,
He
you're-
can't do anything with LeBron, but then you have Westbrook getting his, Schroeder,
Wait, you
Steven
missed-
Adams.
You
They're a
missed the
tough
point
team.
about George Paul. He didn't want to do anything with LeBron, like being
We didn't want him.
co-star.
We didn't want him.
No, he didn't want
We
you.
didn't want
He
him.
wanted no part.
LeBron
of
said, I
that
can't
drama.
win with him.
Yeah.
He turned down 2 shots in game 1 last year.
Yeah.
You remember that, Skip?
Do I?
And then got mad at CJ talking about I need the ball back. You had the ball twice and gave it up.
I told you that's who that guy is.
Nah.
But he wanted no part
We
of the
didn't want
drama
him.
king.
We didn't want him.
Yeah.
Do you
'Cause
always
we,
say that?
We were saving for a Randy because we knew what was coming down the pipeline.
Really?
Oh, yeah, we going to get a D on this report card.
What's coming down the
or KD?
pipeline? I'm afraid no D.
6'10", 227 pounds.
Really?
The
That's
brow.
AD.
Yeah, and we might get 6'11", 172 pounds. That Kevin Durant.
Okay.
Skinny. I saw him the other day up here in Beverly Hills, had on a pair of jeans, back pocket, shaking hand, Chris. That's how skinny he is.
Really?
Yeah, but he can put that ball in the back.
Were you stalking him?
Who would
Oh,
be your
boy.
preference?
He's scouting
You
on
want
the
me to lie?
side.
You want me to tell you the truth?
True. KD.
Oh, KD.
Yeah.
I don't give it on KD. Oh, KD.
KD.
He wants the real best player in the world to
Stop
play with
it,
the
Skip.
quote-unquote best player.
You
in the
know what,
world.
Skip? You need to stop.
Am I right? You just admitted it publicly.
No, I want KD.
Yeah,
I like
thank you.
LeBron and KD, but we might get all of them. We might have a team. We might have a team of D's.
You're going to need all of
Can you
them.
imagine?
And because we got to get, you got all
LeBron
the
in his 17th
we got all
year.
the light skinned brothers. We got to get some of them up out of there.
Hey.
JaVale,
It's working
Tyson.
in Golden State. It's working in Golden State.
We got 7 of them. JaVale, Tyson, Hart, Kuzma, Lonzo.
Yo.
Chris, thank
light-skinned
you
brothers coming
for
back.
joining us.
That's all I got
Y'all
to
ain't
say.
making no
Look
comeback.
at the college game,
Y'all like
man.
the Bible
We
rap.
all over the place now.
I mean, only DJs buying binders. Y'all ain't coming back.
Boy, you guys get so riled up when we talk about the Lakers. Who will win the Heisman on Saturday? Skip and Shannon make their picks.
Here we go again.
No mercy.
And yesterday, the 3 finalists for the Heisman were announced. Not surprisingly, they are Tua Tagovailoa of Alabama, Kyler Murray of Oklahoma, and Dwayne Haskins of Ohio State. Tua has been the Heisman favorite all year, but he struggled against Georgia on Saturday. And now Murray is the favorite heading into Saturday's announcement. So Shannon, we've been talking about this for the last
Yep.
couple months.
Yep.
Here we go.
Who will win it?
I think Tua will win it. I think Tua should win it. If you look at Tua, what he's been able to do, he plays in the SEC, which is the toughest conference in football. And 7 teams in the SEC have a top 25 defense. The Big 12 have 0. What he's been able to do, he's taken a Nick Saban team that we think of playing defense, and that's what they're known for. And he made us look at them as an offensive football team. They're number 2 in scoring. They were number 15 last year. They went to number 2 this year. OU went from Baker Mayfield being number 3 in scoring to number 1 with Kyler Murray. And
that's interesting.
Tua didn't play in 10 of the fourth quarters. That's 2.5 games in which he did not get to add to his resume.
True.
So it's hard for me to believe that he's 37-4. He would not be at least, say what, 43, 44-4, Skip Bayless. That's just, I mean, we'll never know because he didn't play. And Look, he didn't play very well in the championship game, but I believe he was injured. He's been injured a lot, and he still found a way to go out there and compete. He was injured in this game, and he got injured even more. Kyler Murray and Haskins has unbelievable stats. But if you ask me who should and who will win the Heisman, I believe it's going to be Tua, because I believe that what he's been able to do. Think about it. Only one team has won all of their games by at least 20 points, the first 12. And that was a good team, Skip. I watched them the other day. The 1888, led by the great Walter Camp. Unbelievable team.
You were there.
Yeah, I watched them.
Interesting.
That's what old Coach Saban, St. Nick's team's done.
Yeah.
Led by Tua.
Are you finished?
Yep.
With all of your jibber jabber?
What do you got, Skip?
Shannon, you got to give this one up. You got to face the facts. Kyler Murray is going to win the Heisman Trophy because he should win the Heisman Trophy.
Nope.
Kyler Murray has had the greatest single season in the history of college QBR. That's period, end of story, case closed. And Oklahoma on offense, just because of his legs and his arm, set the all-time record for yards per play at 8.75. They snapped the ball 859 times, and they averaged all those snaps 8.75 yards per play. And if we just take Kyler's snaps, where he either ran the ball or threw the football, on each of his plays, he averaged 10.7 yards per play. So every time Kyler Murray did something with the football himself, they got a first down, at least a first down, 10.7 yards per play. And Kyler Murray carried simply the worst great team defense in the history of college football to one of the 4 playoff berths. And I think even you would agree that's just it. That's just case closed.
They deserve to be there.
Yeah, because Oklahoma's pass defense on Saturday fell to 129th out of 130 schools, ranked schools. 129th out of 130? That's mind-blowing that you got that defense all the way to Alabama in a national semifinal game. It's impossible, and this kid pulled it off. And is he not a class act, Jenny? I mean, he's just, this is class personified.
So I guess Tua's not class.
I don't know him personally.
I don't know him personally either, but
you don't know Kyle either.
Yeah, all I know, I watch him every day on.
You watch Tua too.
Yeah, but I've watched Kyler speak. I've seen Tua speak. I'm sure he's a fine young man. But the point is, he finally got exposed against the first decent defense he saw this year.
Oh, so LSU is terrible defense.
Well, no, I'm just telling you that once he experienced some real live pass rush from the Georgia Bulldogs, he crumbled under that pass rush. He goes 10 for 25 for 164 yards, 1 touchdown, but 2 interceptions and 2 sacks.
Are you saying?
Wait. I'm not finished yet. He had a 15 QBR on Saturday. Do you realize Kyler Murray's lowest QBR of the whole year was 75, and Tua had a 15, and he also had a 38 against Mississippi State, which got swept under the carpet. So 15 and a 38, and Kyler's worst was 75. And then if we just do total touchdowns, because Kyler Murray can really run the football, Kyler had 51 total touchdowns to only 42 for Tua. Wow, that's interesting.
He played 2.5. He basically played 2.5 games fewer by not playing in the fourth quarter.
Maybe he got protected from getting exposed.
If you don't mind me asking, Skip Bayless, which one of the Big 12 defenses is top 25 in scoring in the nation?
It just doesn't matter because you're having to carry the worst defense.
Whoa.
Yeah.
If you're having to carry it and you're going against defenses that are no better than yours, well, I mean, what's the big deal? I'm missing something, Jenny.
But this is the all-time worst good team defense we've ever seen.
But he's going against other bad defenses.
Okay, but you have to outscore everybody you play. They had just won 4 games in a row going into the Texas championship game, the Big 12 championship, by allowing 40 points a game, and he would just outscore every opponent. He went to West Virginia on that Friday night and won 59-56. You want to talk about clutch? He had to make a bunch of third down clutch throws.
LSU defensively, are they any good?
They are inept on offense.
No. Was Tua Tagovailoa? Let me ask you a question. Was Tua going against LSU's offense or their defense? Was he going against Mississippi State's offense or their defense? I'm just curious. Was he going against Georgia's offense or Georgia's defense? I'm just curious if I just need to know this.
You cannot defend what happened Saturday on a neutral site stage against Georgia.
Let me ask
you just
question.
can't defend it
Who
because
won the game?
It was ugly.
Who won the game?
Jalen Hurts.
Who's going to get credit for the win?
Jalen Hurts.
No, he won't.
Listen,
whoever
it was
starts the game. No,
it was the greatest break Alabama ever got. Tua got hurt.
Don't do that, Skip.
He was
Don't do that, Skip.
He was on pace, on course to have a disaster game, and they were going to be out of the playoffs.
Okay, I want you.
Shannon, it's over.
Skip.
You got to face it. You got to acknowledge it. It's
You're
okay.
going to sit right there and say, had Alabama lost, they were going to be out of the playoffs.
I believe they would have. I don't think they
know
can put
about
two SEC teams in there.
They were going to put. So let me get this straight.
If
A
they-
one-loss Alabama that lost to the fourth team in the country was going to get left out.
That game was on pace. If Tua kept throwing it to Georgia, it was going to be a 3-touchdown game. And all of a sudden, Jalen Hurts changed the Alabama world.
They got. Guess what? Guess what happened, Skip? They lost by 2 touchdowns last year to Auburn and didn't even get to the conference final, and they win.
Still made it, yeah. So
I don't know.
That's Bama.
Yeah. You know what?
How can you have the Alabama Invitational without
did this.
Alabama?
Didn't he do this the other day? You said, you want dew on it? And I said, yeah, I'll take dew on it.
You didn't take no dew.
I did.
No.
I took dew on this.
No.
You can check the tape.
We're going to check the tape.
Yep,
But I
check the
don't
tape.
care. I'm still going with Tua. Tua got this.
Really? Do you
Yep.
want dew?
Yep.
You're gonna take back the case of dew on this one?
Nope. I'm going to take this. I tell you what you're going to take. This butt cutting on December 29th.
Well, yeah, I will. I got the worst
No.
defense in history.
Skip,
It's a mismatch.
This is what I'm
It's a
asking. This
mismatch.
is what I'm telling you.
Okay.
If Kyler Murray wins that Heisman, give it back. Because you don't want
Give it
St. Nick to
back?
turn them down. You don't want St. Nick to turn them
I
loose.
told you that yesterday.
You don't want
I
St.
used
Nick
that
to
as
turn
one
them
of my
dogs loose.
factors that OU shouldn't even be in the playoff slot.
Coach Saban going to turn them dogs loose.
He will. He
You
will
see
turn
what he
loose,
did?
and it will be a wipeout. It will be a wipeout. But Kyler will have the Heisman.
let's
Y'all-
start with Saturday. Let's
y'all-
start with what happens on Saturday.
Heisman Trophy winners don't normally do well in the bowl game, Skip Bayless.
Are you conceding?
Baker Mayfield,
know.
unless you go to Alabama. Unless you go to Alabama, that's the only time you do well in bowl game
Are you
with the Heisman.
conceding the Heisman?
No, I'm not conceding nothing.
Yep.
We will see. All right, we're taking a break because I'm done talking about that. But before we do, today, it's Skip's birthday. Sorry, Skip. We're telling the world. So we are going to surprise you a little bit.
Oh.
Let's bring it out.
What is this?
Oh, that's what I get?
This is.
I have that every day.
This is actually a
That's
cake.
funny.
That looks
That's
like
a cake?
chicken, broccoli,
This is
and
ridiculous.
rice. This is a real cake that I will definitely be eating later.
Really? Oh, it's a cake. It's coming apart.
Would you actually try it?
I
even though
will,
It looks
just
like
for
that?
you, Jenny.
Wow, I'm surprised.
Oh, now you're going to eat some cake.
I might eat one bite.
Okay, but I don't know if he's actually going to eat the real cake. So we
That's
did bring him
beautiful.
some real chicken, broccoli, and rice
I need
because we
that right
figure you'll
now.
probably have that. But can we just talk about how impressive this cake is?
That is.
Really
It looks
impressive.
real.
That is beautiful.
Yeah. All right. Happy birthday,
Thank you,
Skip.
Shannon, for that. I
Skip
appreciate
Bayless,
that.
if you weren't such a great man,
Yeah.
I probably would have put my feet in that cake
Would
right
you?
now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think
I'm
but
glad
you,
that
you're
you're not
great, you're a
going to.
great
You might
man,
do it
and
anyway.
you deserve to have your day to go uninterrupted by
And
me.
if you put your foot in this cake, I might just put it over your head.
I'm definitely going
Right?
to try some of this broccoli later
Yeah.
if you'll share.
I like this
That's a-
chicken.
That is a beautiful cake. Somebody did an unbelievable
Someone did a
job.
good job.
This is sugar chicken right here.
Okay. Happy birthday, Skip. And
you.
we'll be eating in the break.
Well, that's
we'll
what
be right
Jenny
back.
wants. If it's made of sugar, Jenny definitely wants it.
No mercy.
So the struggling Packers, they fired Mike McCarthy after Sunday's loss to the Cardinals. McCarthy had Aaron Rodgers as his QB for all of 13 seasons he was in Green Bay, and yesterday Rodgers said he enjoys being coached, but the Packers say he won't be involved in the coaching search. Packers CEO Mark Murphy said, quote, Aaron is free to provide input, but he won't be part of the process. We're joined once again by D'Angelo Hall, but first, Shannon, should your guy, Aaron Rodgers, be involved?
No, and I think Mark Murphy summed it up. Is Aaron Rodgers going to be allowed to put a list together and says, okay, these are some of the guys. But I think once the Packers brass narrow it down, they'll ask Aaron, okay, Aaron, what do you think about these guys? Is this someone that you can feel comfortable working with? Because at the end of the day, you want the coach and the quarterback, especially because the quarterback carries so much weight, you want them to have a great working relationship. And I think at the end, Skip, Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers, the working relationship, it kind of deteriorated a little bit.
Yep.
And you can see by Rodgers' body language, you can see by his play on the field. So do I think that he's going to, as they're putting this thing together, okay, who would we like to interview? I don't believe they're taking input from Aaron Rodgers in this situation. But once they get it narrowed down to say maybe 2-3 coaches, they will go to Aaron and ask him, okay, Aaron, what do you think about this? And I think that's the way it should be. And for the most part, top quarterbacks have always had input, especially when it got down to the nitty-gritty of coach selections. But as far as the process of putting a list together, no, I don't think Aaron Rodgers will be involved, nor do I think he should be involved.
I think he should. I mean, when you have a guy of Aaron Rodgers' stature and his perceived, ability to work with guys, I kind of feel like, the whole thing with him and Mike McCarthy is they just didn't agree, almost like a marriage. They were together for so long, and at a certain point, Aaron wanted to do things one way. Mike McCarthy felt like it was best for his team to do things another way. I think for the next guy who comes in there, Aaron Rodgers and that guy have to be on the same page. For them to exist, the worst thing they could do is hire a great coach or a coach they feel is great, but Aaron doesn't get along with or doesn't agree philosophy, scheme-wise what they're doing. And so I think Aaron's at the point in his career where he needs to be able to have a guy that he can confide in or who's like-minded in philosophy, because if not, you potentially have the same problem you have now, and that's an uninspired Aaron Rodgers going out to play football.
That's what I saw Sunday.
Well, the thing is, what concerns me, Skip, if I get someone you like, but what about the team? How does he coach the team? You need a coach.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, when you start trying to get one person to fit one person's needs, now the special teams, now the defense, they go unfulfilled. Now, I would lean towards getting a defensive-minded head coach and find me a hotshot offensive coordinator to try to pair with that situation. Maybe you can get a Cliff Kingsbury, or maybe you can lure someone like that. Skip.
He would be great.
But I would get me a defensive-minded head coach, because at the end of the day, you got to get someone to oversee everything, not just Coach Aaron Rodgers.
Are you going to let that hot shot call the plays?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So I'm going to start with this fact. They just last August gave Aaron Rodgers $100 million guaranteed. They are paying him $33.5 million a year. And this year alone, he got $67 million in total with his bonus.
By March 15th.
Okay, but still,
Yeah.
$67
Oh, yeah,
million.
that's going to be done deal.
Okay, so they have committed their next, let's say, 4 years to Aaron Rodgers.
Correct.
This man tells me he's the GOAT. He's the greatest of all time, and he is transcendent as a quarterback.
Yes.
Well, if that's all correct, if that's all true, and I believe that Aaron Rodgers got Mike McCarthy removed from that job, and I do believe it. I think we all believe it. In the end, that's what happened. Then he should be able to suggest the next head coach, and he certainly should be able to sign off on the next head coach. And I don't agree with your defensive-minded. I think the head coach needs to be in lockstep with the quarterback. They need to become best buddies. They need to be 1 and 1A in all the decisions.
Yeah, he does, Skip, but you have to coach the team. You got to be careful now putting all your eggs in, like, okay, then what happens? The guy Aaron and the coach have a falling out. Then what?
Oh, exactly.
Because that's what happened. For whatever reason, Aaron and Mike McCarthy, they wanted to part ways. And it affected the team, Skip. You look at the way the defense played. You look at the way the special teams played. So you can just look at Aaron, you say Aaron Rodgers hadn't played well. And maybe he hasn't. 21-1 says otherwise. I mean, there are a lot of quarterbacks that would like to have 21 touchdowns, 1 interception. But
28th in completion percentage says another story. Go ahead. Go ahead. Well, it does.
But so
that's just awful.
Tom Brady is doing all these check downs, but he has fewer touchdowns and more interceptions.
Tom Brady is 9-3. Aaron Rodgers is 4-7-1.
You see?
4-7-1.
But I thought that
what? He's transcendent.
Is he's 9-3 or the Patriots 9-3?
I think he's mostly 9-3.
Oh, you see what he did there, y'all? You see what he did? Hey, when things go good, it's all Tom Brady. But when they lose, who got those 3 losses? Coach Belichick got the 3 losses. Tom Brady 9-0.
Coach Belichick got torched by Blake Bortles.
You see
by Matt Stafford. Am I right? And by Marcus Mariota.
Okay, what did
Tom torched?
What did Tom Brady
I'll show you torch numbers.
What did Tom Brady do?
Didn't have a very good game.
You mean to tell me Tom didn't have a good game?
Well, mainly because they got time of possession like crazy. They didn't get the football.
It doesn't matter what you do. See, you count time. I just make time count. So you want 42 hours and do absolutely nothing, or do you need 5 hours to get everything done? See, that's what
I thought we were talking about the GOAT. Or is it lowercase GOAT, as in you're the reason, you're the blame?
Skip, I think everybody knew. Once he lost that game, once Mike McCarthy was the head coach, and he lost to Arizona, who plays in the desert, in a dome, come there, and look at those elements. So there's no way the Arizona Cardinals are supposed to get out of there with a win.
Especially with a rookie quarterback who grew up in Beverly Hills.
Man, I don't care. Look, I don't care if they got a 10-year vet. You play in a dome, and there's no change of season.
Okay.
You can't go to the frozen tundra and beat that team with that lead quarterback. You're not supposed to, Skip.
All right. I'm just telling you, it's Aaron Rodgers' show. It's his team. I'm going to cater to him. I want him to sign off on this, if not suggest.
Skip. We're gonna put the list together.
It's a we.
This is what we do.
You're part of the brain trust.
Okay, this is what we do, Skip. Okay. I'm gonna put together a list.
But what if the guy's on that list, Shannon, he doesn't like any of them?
That is correct.
Then what do you do?
Yep.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna add one more to the list.
He strikes me as hard to please.
Exactly. I'm gonna add one more to
the day.
But Skip, it's like when you set a list. You set a list of the music you like to hear. You go to a wedding or something.
Sure.
You know, you obviously you set the list. Now you can let people that's gonna be there. Okay, what type of music do you like? But I'm gonna make the final say. I might have a song or two that D Hall want to hear. Might have a song or two Jenny want to hear. But at the end of the day, I'm paying for this. I'm paying for this.
So I'm going to throw this out one more time. I don't know for sure why Urban Meyer, quote unquote, retired from The Ohio State University. Was it 50% medical? Was it 80% medical? Or did it have something to do with the way he mishandled and misrepresented what he knew about the Zach Smith situation? But if he is still capable of coaching, and he's never coached in pro football,
I knew he was going to do it.
You gotta, if I'm Green Bay, you gotta take a shot at this, because he is simply the greatest offensive mind, I think, in the history of college football. In the history of college, show me somebody better. The history of college. Urban Meyer
style of offense.
Look at what he did everywhere he went. They just dominated.
Gimmicky
Bowling
style
Green
of
and
offense.
Utah and Florida and
Gimmicky
Ohio
style
State.
of offense.
Okay,
But didn't develop not one player. Tim Tebow, my little cousin Percy Harvin went down to Florida.
Yeah, I think he did okay.
He did okay, but he got to the league and could not really run routes. He wasn't developed as
Percy
a receiver.
Harvin?
He was,
I don't know.
he developed
He was
as just
pretty
an explosive
No,
player.
he was just
He was just an
player.
explosive player.
And that was the thing, Skip. And the thing is that when you look at it, and you can say, well, maybe it was the Zach Smith situation. Urban Meyer is going to lose more games in 2 years in the NFL than he did his whole career as a college coach.
Well, who's he coaching? Aaron Rodgers?
I don't care.
Yeah.
They're not going undefeated. You lose in the NFL. And see, here's the
Well,
thing.
who's to say you would?
Skip.
If he
I mean,
wants
Jimmy
less
Johnson
stress,
didn't
he don't need
immediately
to come to
lose.
the
I mean, he did the
NFL.
first year, but then he just went bam, and it
He
turned
lost
right
the second
around.
year, too.
Not
It was
really.
the third year that he started winning, 91.
Okay.
Yeah, you remember.
But he was pretty good in 90.
But here's the thing about NFL fans. See, college fans, very seldom do they boo, especially at Ohio State. NFL fans, you in Green Bay, they booed the Packers at the half. The likelihood of Ohio State fans booing Urban Meyer in Ohio State, not happening. At Florida, not happening.
Well, I don't know.
I do
he
think
and Aaron would click.
it may click.
You don't think
think
so? You're
scheme-wise,
saying Urban
just
Meyer is
scheme-wise.
overrated?
Scheme-wise, man. Yes, he's overrated.
Look at these numbers.
Urban got some of the
everywhere he
best
went.
players in the country, man. Yeah, part of that is because he's a heck of a recruiter.
Look what
in
he did
college
this year
football,
with
you
Dwayne
know
Haskins.
but do you know what the equalizer is in college football? Is recruiting. Skip, it doesn't matter. If I have 5 stars up and down my roster, of course I'm going to beat these guys
Okay,
with
and
3
obviously
stars
you
and
can
2
recruit
stars.
at Florida and you can recruit at Ohio
Absolutely.
State. Okay, but you got to be able to coach it.
Yeah,
he only
yeah,
took.
you gotta be able to coach
He took
it.
Michigan to the woodshed 7 straight times.
I'm glad you said that about coaching.
well.
Because who got the best college coach that ever done on the sideline?
Maybe it's Urban Meyer.
Just
I
stop.
don't know.
See, there you go,
No.
Skip.
Hey, man,
Why we have white?
What does Nick Saban
It's
know
your
about
birthday.
offense?
He
What
know
does
about
he
defense.
Defense,
He know
yeah.
about that stank.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
The defense that's given up 40
He
pretty
knows
regularly?
if you don't score, you can't win.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's his form.
Urban Meyer knows offense. The same Urban Meyer that scored 20 points against Purdue.
What happened
Was
the
that
last
Urban
time?
Meyer?
That
What
was,
happened the
but
last
there were a
time
lot
Coach
of
Saban played
factors.
Oklahoma in a bowl game? Do you remember that?
I can't remember the last
Sugar
time.
Bowl? Do you remember that?
When was the
They
last?
gave up 40.
When was the last? When was the
Trevor
last?
Knight?
When was the last?
Trevor
time-
Knight
when was
scored
the last-
40 on you?
When was
What
the
is
la-
that about?
When was the last time Urban Meyer been in the Alabama Invitational?
I remember one year when he had this kid named Ezekiel Elliott. Do you remember what he did to
pretty special
Coach
year.
Saban? And Zeke went for 230 against St. Nick's defense,
have they
and
been
it
back-
was a blowout.
Have they been back in the playoffs since then?
Okay.
Have they
No,
been back in?
we're gonna move on for now. But you guys could
If
stay
they
on
done
this
renamed
all
it the
day.
Alabama Invitational.
D'Angelo, thank you for being here.
problem.
Did Steph Curry take a shot at Trae Young yesterday? It's not very common he does that. We'll discuss next.
No mercy.
Steph Curry and the Warriors had no problem beating the Hawks last night. Curry outscored the entire Atlanta team in the first quarter and finished with 30 points. Trae Young had 20 points in the loss, and he's been compared to Steph since college. But he's over the comparison, guys. Let's take a listen.
Honestly, it's getting old, to be honest. I mean, again, he's his own player. Just like when I was a rookie, Steve Nash's name was thrown out there a lot. You take that with respect and understand it's flattering, but at the end of the day, that's not going to carry you through the league. It's what you do with the opportunity you have in front of you. So I've been blessed to have had a lot of success and experience in the league. Obviously, you expect Trae to kind of carve out his own lane and again be himself. He didn't have to be anybody else but himself.
All right, Skip, do you agree with Steph?
I am so glad Steph Curry made that statement. He's not taking a shot at this kid. He's trying to give this poor kid a break. Trae Young was way overrated coming out of Oklahoma, way overrated going into the draft. The comparison to Steph Curry is just so wrong and so unfair that he's never going to be able to live up to it because he's not big enough, he's not athletic enough, he's not quick enough.
Same thing they said about Steph?
Okay. All right. But Steph could shoot the lights out and he could get his shot.
Skip, he led the nation in scoring and assists. The first time it's ever been done in college basketball.
Do you see what he's shooting from three in pro basketball? Because all you have to do is get up in him and you can suffocate him because he can't go around you.
I know, Skip, but
he's shooting 24%. Do you realize of the 73 players who've taken 100 or more, he's dead last in the NBA. Do you realize Steph Curry has shot 44% for his whole career, including his rookie year?
He shot 40.
Don't start. Don't start.
But Skip.
And Steph's got a handle this kid just doesn't have. I'm sorry.
But Skip, you and Steph are talking a lot. He keeps saying it. Other players are making the comparison. Just like Steph Curry didn't compare himself to Steve Nash. True. Steve Nash.
I don't know any players who have said it. I know a lot of media members.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, but it wasn't Steph that compared himself to Steve Nash. It's not Trae Young comparing himself. That is the media doing it, and you can understand it why. They said the same thing they said about Trae Young, they said about Steph Curry. He's not big enough. He can't get his shot up. He can't get around people. And all he did was turn himself into a 2-time league MVP and a 3-time champ. I'm not saying that this kid would be that, but he doesn't keep saying that. At least give the granted, he's shooting worse in his rookie season than Steph ever shot from the three.
It's not even close. But this is a joke. But don't start with this.
No, but Skip.
And remember, Steph's 3 inches taller than he is to start with, and Steph's not the tallest guy,
Right.
but he's 6'3".
But can't you understand? They're both point guards. They both shoot the three. They both assist the basketball. I believe he's a better passer of the ball than Steph was at this juncture. The kid led the nation in scoring and assists. This is the first time that's ever been done since they've been keeping stats.
I watched all those games last year, and in the Big 12 games, he was awful. And once they figured out just play him to shoot the three, he'll start shooting it farther and farther out because he doesn't even have a jump shot. He has a set shot three. That won't work at the next level, and at this level, they are all over him. They're making him look foolish from three.
Okay, Skip. But he's not making the comparison. So Steph, and I don't believe Trae Young is going out there and saying, man, I need to be Steph today. I need to be Steph. But I understand because that's normally what happens. It's not like they compare Aaron Donald to Deion Sanders. They compare him to Warren Sapp or Johnny Randall because those are the guys that played the position before him. That's the comparison that you get.
Steph won 2 MVPs. And again,
he didn't win them as a rookie when they compared him to Steve Nash.
Okay,
because what did Steve Nash have? 2 MVPs. Okay,
do I think Steph has Steve Nash's handle? I don't think that much, but it's pretty good.
Oh, Steph got handles. And Steph, like you said, Steph can get his shot off.
Okay, well, just for the record, before that Steph draft, I said I'm taking him number 1 over Blake Griffin, and everybody laughed at me, but I think I'm still taking him over Blake. And Blake's turned into a much better shooter than I thought.
He's unbelievable. I mean, he got the step back three now. Skip, I thought Steph could be good because you look at his ranges that he was shooting, but I don't think if anybody said they thought Steph would turn into what he turned into, I think they're lying.
Well, I didn't think he'd be that.
Exactly.
I didn't predict he'd win an MVP.
unanimously.
Let alone 2.
You're right.
Really?
So and be the leader, the ring leader.
Okay, so who could watch Trae Young in college and say, that's the next Steph Curry? You can't say that. It's just wrong. It doesn't even, it's like apple to a little shrunken orange.
But Skip, watching Steph in college at Davidson, you thought he was going to be a 2-time league MVP and a 3-time champion?
But I thought he was going to be really good because he had range, jump shooting range.
So he can be good. Trae Young can be good.
All right, guys, the Browns, they need a new head coach. Should they hire Mike McCarthy? We'll tell you next.
No mercy.
Time for a final topic of the day. Mike McCarthy is available after being fired by the Packers on Sunday. The Browns could have an opening, and a former Packer and current Brown said McCarthy and Baker Mayfield would work well together, adding, quote, I think they do great. Shannon, would he be a good fit in Cleveland?
Yeah, since you love him so much, let him go coach your guy, Baker Mayfield.
Why not?
Yeah, let him go.
My guy would thrive under him as opposed to the other guy who got him fired.
It's a step down. I mean, if you want to take a step down, okay.
Really?
Yeah. So hold on. Are you comparing the Cleveland Browns head coaching job to coaching the Green Bay Packers?
No, I was comparing young Baker to young Aaron. That's what I was comparing. Maybe he could do for Baker what he did for Aaron.
You know what's
because he rebuilt Aaron.
You know what's Gil?
Took 3 years to rebuild his delivery.
It's your day.
Yeah.
This is your birthday. You take the rest of the time. You go right ahead.
No, go ahead. I want to hear what you have to say. It's okay. It's okay. I love this move.
I hope it happens.
John Dorsey, the GM, worked with Mike McCarthy at Green Bay. It'd be a great fit. I think Baker Mayfield would learn a lot from Mike McCarthy. I keep telling you, once upon a time, Mike McCarthy was regarded as one of the top play callers in pro football until Aaron Rodgers kept pointing the finger at him until the world said, he must be dumb.
Hold on. How can he be great for Baker? Baker knows everything. I mean, you can't teach Baker Mayfield anything. Baker knows everything.
Really?
He's mature beyond his years.
Yeah.
I
told you he was going to be the best of the young quarterbacks, and I think that's been proven.
That ain't saying nothing.
Oh, it's not?
No.
Well, Sam Darnold was going to be the next Hall of Famer. That's
ain't nobody said that.
Yeah, somebody
he's
said
the
it across
best.
from me. Maybe one Hall of Famer said that about him. I don't know. Somebody across from me.
Skip, you ain't just saying something. He's the best of the rookie quarterback.
I think you like Sam Darnold.
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Join us again at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports 1 of 1.